I think, are we live? Okay, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us. This is part 2 of the previous session, so we're just carrying on from the previous conversation.
Did you watch the video Dr. Damage shared before we started that discussion?
Okay, no, I didn't. You know, what video was that?
From President Carter. It was very clear. If you can watch it, just watch it on your own.
Are you talking about Jimmy Carter?
Yeah, Jimmy Carter. He granted an interview. He used to go to Palestine like for election observer. He goes there. He knows details about what is going on there.
Wow.
He explained everything. He even said he called IPAC that these are the group that are really making sure that are sponsoring the crisis, making sure there is no solution. He gave quite details though. All of us listened to it.
The guy's spot on with IPAC.
Yeah, so spot on.
Remember,
people know all those stuff.
Remember Kennedy? Remember why Kennedy got killed? Remember what came out?
I know. Yeah.
We have to be careful before we start, making stuff up like it's IPAC.
He wanted to raise the IPAC as a foreign agent. Yeah, as a foreign, it's a foreign agent. The organization. They used to have a different name,
but the issue is, has everybody had their say on this thing? Kenny, you may want to put your camera on. On this
except we want to discuss it. But we got like 2 minutes. We didn't really have time, so there is little.
I do like the way, if I will find that video of Ta-Nehisi quotes what he said about it, because he was like, if you are against death penalty, it doesn't matter what the person did or not. You are against death penalty. The same thing if you're against a kind of apartheid system or oppression of the people, you should be against it no matter what. It doesn't matter whether they are extremists, terrorists, and all the other.
Father, there is no issue of terror. Let me tell you this. Before the October 7 attack, there were over 5,000 Palestinians in Israeli prison, including 173 children. Women over how many? I forgot the number. Check it. That information is not hidden.
Okay.
And that video, watch it. Try and get the link. Watch it. You will understand the pain of the Palestinians. They live in an open-air prison. Just summary.
It's awful. When I heard about it, one of the things I heard that really shocked me was that even the water that comes from the sky, they capture it before they even give it to them. It's on men.
That is true.
Of their lives in some parts,
like it's bad. You can't describe it.
Yeah, I just learned about it yesterday. That's crazy.
How does America support such a thing? Like
they don't.
The people so badly.
Who was supporting apartheid in South Africa? You think it was only the white in South Africa? You think they didn't know what was going on?
No. Not just that. They actually supported apartheid.
I know. That's what I'm telling him.
It was in 2008 that they removed Nelson Mandela's name from the terrorist list. 2008.
Okay.
2008.
Father, hold on. I need to say one thing. The issue of terrorists. Who is defining terrorists? Hamas is a political party. Hezbollah is a political party. Let me tell you the worst. Do you know America just removed Taliban? They say, they are no longer terrorists.
What? Taliban is no longer terrorists.
America removed Taliban from terrorist list. Go and check it.
They just killed American people how many years ago?
Check it as we speak. Check it online.
Oh my God.
Taliban from terrorist list. It's just a funny way of behaving. It's just like how Taliban and government in Afghanistan. It's all politics. God. They can even turn.
That one will shock me because it's not that long ago where Americans were being killed by this same Taliban.
They even submitted military weapons.
So you were asking for my opinion, right?
Oh yeah. Have you had your opinion on this?
No, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't, and that was the reason why I called him to.
Okay, so let's try to do it so that everybody can speak. I know Mr. James has said something about it. I heard him talking about how
mine is just a minute.
I think it's only Kene and the Eccentric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a minute. So,
Eccentric, are you okay with that?
Yes,
just a minute, Eccentric. Just 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Thank you, bro. So, I don't know why we're giving ourselves headache over what is going on between Israel and Palestine. See, just as what happened in Lebanon and Turkey, Israel and Palestine, whatever they call themselves, Palestine, none of them own that land. They are two big criminals fighting over somebody else's ancestral land. And because of that, like I said here last time, I can only wish them good luck. Good luck on the side of Israel to retaliate badly in such a way that when the Palestinians sit back, they were like, oh no, so human being could do this to us. So I'm praying for Israel to revenge badly that will shock the perpetrators of this evil. It's easier for you to sit down and try to claim.
If you say that, are you trying to say that the Nigerian government doing what they did?
Hold on now, forefathers. You were saying that you're saying something here about you don't want them to join, and then you don't want them to have their freedom, right?
From the point of view of the Israelis, they don't want them to go. They don't want them to stay.
Exactly. That is what you see where two criminals are fighting over what does not belong to them. And again, such a team.
Hold on. You don't listen, man. Such a team. Such a team. Hold on now.
Such a team is happening in Nigeria. Nigerian government don't want the Biafrans to go, yet they don't want to bring development in Biafran land. They don't want to fix things for the Biafrans, but they don't want Biafrans to go. Now, this is it. Israel. If I want to support any of these two criminals, it should be Israel. And my reason is not because of religious affiliation. After all, Israelis are not even Christians. A lot of them are Jewish people. Most of them in short. And even the Muslims in Israel, it's more than the Christians in Israel.
Are you sure? Because your Bible didn't say that. If you cause them,
the good number of them.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Google it. The good number of them are Jewish people, and the second highest population there is Muslims. Then Christianity is even the minority over there.
I meant that the reason why you are supporting them is because you're afraid that if you cause them,
the reason I have not even said it yet. I said the reason why I would support them is because of how they came to my rescue when the criminal Biafran Nigerian government were trying to exterminate my people. That is the only reason. So I will support them not to be killed by this Muslim Islamic fundamentalist terrorist government. It's because of the reason, is because of the way they came to my rescue during the Biafran war. Anything else?
That is respectable. I think it's a respectable position. They helped you. You are bound by loyalty just to. But how about right or wrong? Where does it stand now? It's just because they supported you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, right or wrong. Like I said earlier, two of them are criminals. They are fighting over a land that doesn't belong to them.
Quick question.
Why is it still talking about?
Sorry, AY. Let Eccentrica. I think Eccentrica wants to have his
very question to Kene. Sorry. Israeli, were they involved in Nigeria civil war in
yes.
any form? Okay, you have proof for that?
Yeah, they came to my rescue. They came to my rescue.
With military?
No, it is true. When I was
they came to my rescue. Just have it. I was the one being helped, so I'm the one telling you that they came to my rescue. Accept that. No argument.
When I was a factory worker in Israel some years ago, some of them acknowledged it, that they contributed. There was something like relief fund or something, appealing to Israelis to donate to promote the Biafran cause.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
I heard it.
Yeah, let Eccentric go.
Eccentric, please go ahead.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
So, I don't even know where to begin, but I'm just gonna say one thing. One thing only. You know, there's genocide going on in Palestine, right? There's genocide going on in Palestine. This genocide is, what I'm saying, it's kind of bringing, it proves my point about something, about something about humans, right? About human morality, right? Our morality is created based on who is affected and who he favors, right? Like, for instance, right, a crime, someone can commit a crime, right? If a person commits a crime, they can go to jail. But if a politician steals money, they can go about, driving a Ferrari, driving a fancy car, right? It's like justice is not equal, right? But the thing is, we need to have a clear cut, morality, moral position, right?
Yeah.
Genocide is genocide, right? It doesn't matter who it happens to, Muslims, Christians, Hindus, whatever their religious affiliation or belief is, right? It doesn't matter. It should be condemned regardless of who they are, right? When, like, for instance, when the United States dropped a nuclear weapon in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it was condemned. Like, I condemn that. You know what I'm saying? Because those are people, those are humans, regardless of what they did, in Unit 741 or whatever, what they did to the Mongols and the Chinese, right? It was condemned, right? And same thing that happened in Germany, right? After the war, the Allied forces went to Germany, raped women and destroyed a whole city, right? Those were condemned. It doesn't matter who's being affected, right? If we use that kind of mentality to judge, morality, right? Someone could claim, well, if something happens to Igbo people, they deserve it, or if something happens to the Northerners, they deserve it, right? I mean, come on, like that shouldn't be. We should not have that kind of that kind of moral standard, right? It's so confusing, right? This guy, he's saying that because Israel helped Biafra, right? The genocide that they committed is fine, right? Okay, what if it was Hitler's Germany that helped Biafra? Are we going to say that what they did, the program they committed against the Jews were fine, right? I mean that's wrong. I think we need to get to a point where where we we could elevate our morality. You know what I'm saying? Like we should know what's right and wrong. Like we shouldn't be confused about things like that. We should know what's right and wrong and condemn it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for someone to come, like, this is something that I hear on CNN, and Fox News and MSNBC, right? How they try to justify this crime. They always go back to October 7th, and they don't go back before October 7th. To, like, for instance, the Biafran War, right? Regardless of what caused it, like if we go into the nitty gritty of it, we could say, well, Igbo people deserve it, whatever. It's condemnable, right? Because of what happened. It was almost a genocide. A lot of people were killed.
It was awful. It was awful because they blockaded them, knowing that the civilians are going to suffer. That's lazy.
Exactly.
Because military sometimes they act like, because they don't want to fight, they just use starvation on people. That is wrong.
They use starvation, and then they use terror, right? They use terror. That's the definition of a terrorist. When you kill civilians because you're trying to persuade them to remove their government. And that's what Netanyahu said like 2 days ago. He's saying that if the Lebanese don't remove their government, that they're gonna suffer the same fate as the Gazans. I mean, come on, like what are we devolving to? Humanity is devolving into a nightmare, like literally. I mean, come on, man.
Say whatever you like about American troops and the wars they fought. They never use starvation, and you never see them necessarily use one-term punishment.
That's false. That's false.
No. I know the Second World War. I know about that. I know about Vietnam War. I mean, in the last maybe 40 years or so.
Yes. That's what they did in Fallujah. That's what they did in Fallujah. Remember the Fallujah?
Yes, but not on the scale Israel is doing it now.
Oh, it's at that scale. It's at that scale, man. It's the only difference. They destroyed
all the buildings. They destroyed the buildings, flattened everything in Fallujah.
Oh, yeah. They did. I mean, look at all the wars. I mean,
they are still bombing Gaza. They did not stop. They are still bombing.
Israel is still bombing them. That's what I'm thinking. America, at least starvation. I've never seen America use starvation and just one-time destruction of property just for the sake of it.
What do you think? What do you think sanction is, right? I mean, look at Venezuela.
Okay, fine. That is that's a different thing. That's stretching it too much. Okay, go ahead.
sanction is a form of warfare. It's an economic warfare. It's actually worse than dropping bombs, right? Like in Venezuela, look up the numbers of people that died due to the sanction on them, and then look at Cuba. They use sanctions to freeze that country. The country is almost frozen in time, right? This is American doctrine. Do you think that Israel does anything without American, approval? I mean, recently just came out, someone from the Knesset said that this guy Blinken was told them to go ahead and bomb like the humanitarian trucks. It just came out.
But that is
like
Blinken now. I'm just saying that America as a whole, when they go in with their military.
But Blinken is representing America now.
Okay, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. America, I think they said in the Iraq war, America, they said in the Iraq war, they used about 24 this thing, what they call it, 2,000 pound and 4,000 pound bomb, 24 of them throughout the Iraq war. But Israel used more than that in one attack in Lebanon. In one attack, they used more than that. They used about 80.
The one they used to bomb the leader of Hezbollah was more than 80,000 bombs.
Yeah, they said they used 80 or so. That's what they used.
Yeah, for that build the only.
You can imagine the level of. They said the number of bombs they've dropped in Gaza is 2 times the kind of force of like Hiroshima bomb. It's like
let me finish my point.
How America behaves.
Anyways,
we just round up so that Mr. James can speak.
That's the point. That's a point for another day, right? But I mean, we can say, well, Gaza, look at what Hamas did on the 7th of October. But what about the West Bank, right? We saw a video. We can't escape all these things. We saw a video of someone who got shot. I don't know how they got killed on top of a roof, and these guys were kicking their body off of a roof, and they were falling. The body was falling. This kind of thing.
There are many videos like that. There are many videos. People are just walking. They gun them down. They even gunned down 3 Israeli hostages. That's the 3 guys came out. They came out. They freed themselves somehow from. Israeli hostages that freed themselves from Hamas, and they were running back to join their soldiers. Their soldiers killed them down because they just thought they were Hamas. So they didn't even care that the people didn't have clothes on. They were surrendering. And they still killed them. They ran away. One of them ran away. They still chased him, and they didn't even allow him to say one word to let them know that I'm one of you. They still kill him.
Yeah. So how bad he is. Anyway, so let me clear some of the points that this guy Ekene made. Let me kind of counter those points, right?
Can we go? Okay, hold on. And Senekas, let's allow you to go around. That way you can make the point again. Because a lot of people are waiting.
Let me make this point. Let me set this ground so that way no one makes this mistake, right? Because they always go like, well, this is a complicated issue. The issue between the Palestinian and Israeli is a complicated issue. It's not a complicated issue, man. And someone mentioned on the comment, he said, Balfour Declaration, that the thing has been happening before. Balfour Declaration, that's false. Balfour Declaration, which was written in the 1800s before the Second World War, that was when they were trying to find places for European Jews to settle, right? And one of it was Palestine, and one of it was somewhere in Africa here, I think Uganda, something like that. So this problem was manufactured, and there's a book on it about reason why European Jews were settled in the Middle East. And if you look at the place where they're settled, Palestine, it's like almost a gateway to most of the waters, right? Where a lot of shipping happened in the East Asia, right? This is part of Western colonization, right? They have, they did Palestine, and then they did Australia, right? It's for the same reason, and then they did South Africa, right?
Time is up. Consider other people. Other people are here. They want to also add. Don't worry, you have your say. Kandu, I don't know if you can hear me. I didn't know this before. I didn't know that in Israel you are not allowed to have interfaith marriage. That nothing like that exists. The only marriage that exists in Israel is in the same race that you can have. So take it from there, and also with the idea of occupation. Is this something that is ambiguous to you, where some people will try to justify it and say, oh, because the Palestinians are not ready? If the Palestinians are not ready, why are you not giving them the deal today? It's almost like when they say the Palestinians are not ready, it's so weird. It's almost as if they said, you know what, the deal is on the table there. Whenever you are ready, take it. That's not what is happening. They will be like, take. You're not ready. You're not ready. That seems to be the game. So I don't know what you think about what is going on, especially now that Iran seems to have gone nuclear. Where do you think this is taking all of us?
Well, this is a case of man's inhumanity against man. That's really what it boils down to. I don't know where one really wants to start this narrative. Um, do you want to start from 1932 with the oppressions of the Jews in Germany? In Nazi Germany. Do you want to start with the summits and the lawns of the White House in the 90s with Isaac Rabin and Arafat? Because I've been following this issue since the early 90s, since the day of Bill Clinton bringing Arafat and Isaac Rabin to the White House to negotiate on these deals. Do you want to start with the innumerable number of United Nations declarations asking Israel to stop taking Palestinian lands? Where do you want to start? But my position has always been that you're not going to drive the Palestinians into the desert, nor are you going to drive the Jews into the Red Sea. But how do you make it work? How do you make this work? These people have been enemies for a long time. And personally, I would not say because you're my brother or you're my friend and you gave me something, say that because of that, I'm not going to call you out when you're doing something wrong. I don't care if Israel gave all the Yoruba people all the weapons in the world. When they're doing something wrong, you call it out. That is the way it is. You don't say because Israel helped Biafra or gave Biafra weapons back then is okay. It will never be okay for those people that went into Israel on October 7th and massacred 1,200 people. That would never be okay. There's never a justification. But the reality is this: for those who follow this space, the Palestinians they've been living on the worst type of appetite that you can ever imagine. They have to show their passes to get to work. They have to show, the number of Palestinians that have been killed every year by the Israeli army, by the settlers. Settlers go in and burn down their houses and their farmland. For years, there have been hundreds of thousands of houses and apartments that have been built on lands that the UN has said that these are Palestinian lands since the 90s. If you like, kill 2 million Palestinians, their children will come back and avenge the death of their parents and their brothers and sisters. Unfortunately, there are no easy solutions. Unfortunately, it is not easy to ask Israel to live right next door to a nation that has its own ports, that has its own airspace, that can bring in any type of weapon. It is not easy to say the Palestinians shouldn't be where they are. If you want to go back to 1932, what was the percentage of Jews that were living in that space today that's being occupied by Israel and the Palestinians? The vast majority of the people that resided there were Palestinians, not Jews. And anyone can go back and look at YouTube videos of untold number of Jews that were brought from Poland, from Hungary, from Germany. They were in boats all over the world trying to figure out where to put them. It was finally decided to put them in Palestine. So I'm not, I want to believe that I'm an average connoisseur of the Bible, but I don't know who wrote what when. I don't know when God spoke to Moses or Joshua and told them that this is your land. But the reality is this: I can never support Based on the UN numbers, not by the Gaza numbers, 16,000 children have been massacred. Let me repeat that. In a year and 3 days, 16,000 innocent children have been massacred. I don't care who did that. I wouldn't say I don't care what those other people did to you, because there has to be some balance there. But 42,000 Palestinians have been killed. The vast majority of them are women and children. And for anyone to be able to justify that by saying, well, it's because of what they did, where is the humanity? Where are we going? I mean, we're all looking. I don't think there's really anything that any one of us, or even collectively, we can do about it. But to sit around and have some people kill 16,000 children, we all should be ashamed of ourselves as humans.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree with you, Mr. James. So, like this issue of Israel being an ethno state, where the Jews are treated differently from other citizens. I didn't know that was the case. I've always thought it was odd that they have to define it to be a Jewish state when at least 25% of the population is not Jewish. That seems to be very, very odd. It's like defining Nigeria. Okay, Nigeria is different. America to be a Christian state, that when you know that you have a lot of Muslims, and it turns out that marriage in the country, you are not allowed to get married between the religions. You are not allowed to, and even normal marriage doesn't exist. It's only civil partnership that are allowed because of it. Because people can claim now that they don't subscribe to any faith and get married. Because of that, they don't even allow that to happen. So, what do you think is going on there?
Is the question that
DNA is not allowed to.
Yeah, yes, directed to you,
okay.
Mr. James.
Okay.
Because you've been there before.
Yes, I lived there, both in Palestine and in the Jewish the Jewish territory. While I was there were a lot of, not a lot, a few Bini boys who married Israeli women while I was in Israel. But what I know is, for you to be a Jew, your mother has to be a Jewess. The female, she has to be a Jewess for you to be a Jew. If your father is a Jew and your mother is from somewhere else, you are not a Jew. The best they can do for you is to give you a permanent resident status, but you are not one of them. You cannot serve in their military and those kind of things.
Oh yeah?
Yes,
Wow.
that is how it is. Your mother must be a Jew. You can be born outside Israel or whatever it is, but your mother must be one of them. Because they are trying to avoid a situation whereby a Jewish man can go to bed with, let's say, an African or an Asian or whatever it is.
Oh, wait, James, no, let's make this correction. Africa is a continent, right? Asia is a continent. Jewishness is a religious ideology, right?
Excuse
Let's
me.
make that distinction.
Allow him to finish. Don't worry, you have your chance.
It's important to make that
distinction.
Good night.
Allow
I've been
him
here
to
since
finish.
morning. I'm sorry. I have to sign off.
If you can finish your submission.
I finished what I'm saying. Thank you so much indeed for allowing me.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. James. Appreciate it. Yeah. He doesn't like getting interrupted. But that is that anyway. So yeah, the point. Let me just play this video so that we can see what we are talking about here. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So yeah, this video it was about that Tanihisi. So you guys have an appreciation of what the way he approached it. It was interesting because I've always wondered that too. All right, let's play it.
Largest section of the book, and I have to say, when I read the book, I imagine if I took your name out of it, took away the awards and the acclaim, took the cover off.
Also, let me do my due diligence and for fair use. This is from CBS, and we are reacting to the CBS interview of quotes. Okay, so let me just do that due for copyright reasons. All right, bye.
Off the book, the publishing house goes away. The content of that section would not be out of place in the backpack of an extremist. And so then I found myself wondering, why does Ta-Nehisi Coates, who I've known for a long time, read his work for a long time, very talented, smart guy, leave out so much? Why leave out that Israel is surrounded by countries that want to eliminate it? Why leave out that Israel deals with terror groups that want to eliminate it? Why not detail anything of the first and the second intifada, the cafe bombings, the bus bombings, the little kids blown to bits? And is it because you just don't believe that Israel in any condition has a right to exist?
Well, I would say the perspective that you just outlined, there is no shortage of that perspective in American media. That's the first thing I would say. I am most concerned always with those who don't have a voice, with those who don't have the ability to talk. I have asked repeatedly in my interviews whether there is a single network, mainstream organization in America with a Palestinian American bureau chief or correspondent who actually has a voice to articulate their part of the world. I've been a reporter for 20 years. The reporters of those who believe more sympathetically about Israel and its right to exist don't have a problem getting their voice out. But what I saw in Palestine, what I saw on the West Bank, what I saw in Haifa in Israel, what I saw in the South Hebron Hills, those were the stories that I have not heard. And those were the stories that I was most occupied with. I wrote a 260-page book. It is not a treatise on the entirety of the conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis.
But if you were to read this book, you would be left wondering, why does any of Israel exist? What a horrific place, committing horrific acts on a daily basis. So I think the question is central and key. If Israel has a right to exist, and if your answer is no, then I guess the question becomes, why do the Palestinians have a right to exist? Why do 20 different Muslim countries have a right to exist?
My answer is that no country in this world establishes its ability to exist through rights. Countries establish their ability to exist through force, as America did. And so I think this question of right to Israel does exist. It's a fact. The question of its right is not a question that I would be faced with any other country.
But you write a book that delegitimizes the pillars of Israel. It seems like an effort to topple the whole building of it. So I come back to the question, and it's what I struggled with throughout this book. What is it that so particularly offends you about the existence of a Jewish state that is a Jewish safe place and not any of the other states out there?
There's nothing that offends me about a Jewish state. I am offended by the idea of states built on ethnocracy, no matter where they are.
Muslim included.
I would not want a state where any group of people laid down their citizenship rights based on ethnicity. The country of Israel is a state in which half the population exists on one tier of citizenship, and everybody else that's ruled by Israelis exist on another tier, including Palestinian Israeli citizens. The only people that exist on that first tier are Israeli Jews. Why do we support that? Why is that okay? I'm the child of Jim Crow. I'm the child of people that were born into a country where that was exactly the case, of American apartheid. I walk over there and I walk through the occupied territories and I walk down a street in Hebron, and a guy says to me, I can't walk down the street unless I profess my religion.
You see, then he went on to say a lot of things. I don't know whether, are you guys okay with this, or should we stop here? Are you okay with us going on?
We can stop here if you want, but I'm here now because I want to put a report out to that video I'm showing.
Okay, so okay, let's just go. It's almost done anyway. Let me just finish it then.
I'm with another path. No. I want to. This is very, very important.
It is
extremely important.
Yeah, lay it down.
I'm working with the person that is guiding me is a Palestinian whose father, whose grandfather and grandmother was born in this town. And I have more freedom to walk than he does. He can't ride on certain roads. He can't get water in the same way that Israeli citizens who live less than a mile away from him can.
And why is that okay? Why is that? Why is there no agency in this book for the Palestinians? They exist in your narrative merely as victims of the Israelis, as though they were not offered peace at any juncture, as though they don't have a stake in this as well. What is their role in the lack of a Palestinian
I have a very, 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 very moral compass about this. And again, perhaps it's because of my ancestry. Either apartheid is right or it's wrong. It's really, really simple. Either what I saw was right or it's wrong. I am, for instance, against the death penalty. What the person did to get the death penalty, it really doesn't matter to me. I don't care if they were selling a nickel bag of marijuana or if they were a serial killer. I am against the death penalty. I am against a state that discriminates against people on the basis of ethnicity. I'm against that. There is nothing the Palestinians could do that would make that okay for me. My book is not based on the hyper-morality
What's the last
of the
message you
Palestinian
want
people.
in less than, because many people feel it's complicated. You say it's not complicated. Less than 20 seconds. What's your message?
Less than 20 seconds. I want people to read the book.
Well,
And I don't make the assumption that somebody would just read the book and have read nothing else about Israel
Okay.
and Palestine.
You're still invited to High Holidays. I'll see you at the show. I mean it.
Yeah, all right. As you can see, he kind of simplifies the principles when people are arguing about these things. So who is next? I think it's AY, isn't he? AY before, except KJ. You want to allow KJ to go ahead first?
Yeah, you can let KJ go. You know, say na Malga before he sanction me.
Go ahead,
KJ can
KJ.
go.
You have to do anything. Anyway, you can go ahead. You
No,
know.
go ahead, KJ. I'm serious. Go. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah. You see, Forefather, I'm glad you chose that video to play to buttress your point. But that video has been discussed and as over the American media for the past since it aired by CBS, and a lot of the media houses have accused CBS of being biased. More so that after this interview, there have been 2 consecutive discussions in CBS. One is even the fact that certain individuals in the CBS felt their emotions were being, what do you call it now? They are being emotionally traumatized by the line of the question the guy asked. So much so that they invited a shrink to come talk to them. I'm not going to go ahead and mention the name of the shrink, but eventually they didn't go because also the shrink was known to have written certain things about Israel that did not make sense. So eventually CBS jettisoned that idea, but they still had a meeting for which that reporter, who I think is a very fine reporter and asked the pertinent question anybody would have asked, was asked to apologize to his colleague for making them feel bad about his line of questioning. This is the case. This is the problem with these issues in the world right now. Once you don't agree with me, you run to emotional blackmail. You begin to say, "Oh, this has affected you emotionally and otherwise." Let me say something. This guy who has written this book spent only 3 weeks or 3 weeks or 2 weeks in Israel, and comes back and writes all the things I've written about. And this is the contention from other reporters who have asked the question. And if you want, you can listen to Maggie and Kelly. I can give you her link. So you listen to also other reporters who are seasoned reporters who have gone ahead to establish their own media, discuss this same issue that was raised in this interview. What did the guy do? Because he has an Israeli and American, and so he's asking the question based on what he knows and what has been on ground. It is good. Nobody on earth, and I have never said that it is the right thing to do. What we are looking for is a way to go forward. Israel has to exist. So also is Palestinian, the Palestinian state. And not all the Palestinian people are Muslim, just in case anybody thinking that when you say Palestine, it means that they are Muslims. I have worked with a lady called Cordell, and she is from the Palestinian state. Right now, working with another one here, who is also from Palestine. And it tells you the stories beyond what the medias are talking about. Let me say something. In this time that we are living in, if you really want to get the crux of every media information, everything you hear especially the mainstream media, you have to go beyond what they're telling you and do your own personal research and come to your own conclusion. But if you're going to be taking a talking point of these media houses and run with it, you probably just be doing yourself a lot of disfavor. I may not want to go into all that, but I'm just telling you, be careful when you're putting those ones as your sword, because at the end of the day, everybody starts out and ends a story, whether it's a report or not, the way he or she wants. And it panders most of the time to the person who owns the organization. And that's what we see in CBS, for which a lot of Americans have called them out. especially for the fact that they are financed by public money. They think that they should do a better job than what they did. And I'll stop there for now.
Do you support the line of questioning that he used? That's the way he questioned Ta-Nehisi Coates. His name is a bit tricky.
Yes, I support him. You see, when you prove to be an expert in certain things, you don't like those people who are talking about, well, let me not go there again, a very controversial issue. But now, if you say you're an expert in an affair, you should be able to have a much more than an ordinary man's, talking point in the street. The question is, some of the traditions and what he asked there, some of the traditions and some of the events that happened, you did not balance it up in your book. That's what he's simply saying. You didn't make a balance. You should have, once you want to pander to what is happening to the Palestinians, that's okay. But you should also have taken a chew also at the other side. What their own agro, as the case may be, sorry, seem to be. And so they're saying if you want to do such, you try to balance out your reporting or your writing by saying, well, this is what these people have said, but also on the hand side, these other people, this is their own, even if you didn't want to go into it, just mention it for 1 or 2 pages that this seemed to be what they told you. Because if I went out to do an interview, I would not only come back with only one-sided interview, even though I may not be leaning to the other side. I may be leaning to the side of A, but I will still interview B just to have an understanding. And I'll pick from B what I want, but I will present that B's view on my reporting. And that's what the reporters are against. They're saying, look, you went there, you wrote a book. Appreciate the fact that you are a very, very knowledgeable individual and you have laid out your point, okay, in the way you wanted it. You should have at least taken a peep to the other side of the fence also.
Okay. He did say that that is because there is no shortage of that angle of this thing. For me, the one that stood out most, and I think that's the one that is, there are 2 areas that really stood out when he said something about his book, what he wrote can be in the backpack of a potential terrorist. That one, people felt like that was a low blow. And then the other aspect where he crystallized the point, he said, apartheid is either wrong or it's not. There is no, and that is very crystallizing because so that you get to the base of what this issue is. That these people are being held, their sovereignty is being usurped by another group of people for decades, and all the noise around it, he cleared it. And that is what I found and I think that's what triggered a lot of people in the American space. Personally, I think his line of questioning is fine. The backpack area, I thought maybe he didn't need to do that. But asking him, okay, why do you believe Israel is an issue, that an ethno state is a problem? All those things are fair questions. That's my take anyway. AY, what do you think?
Honestly, on this Israeli-Palestine issue, to be honest, I feel sometimes I just feel it's waste of time discussing it, to be honest, because I feel even the people that are kind of like coming to say their own narrative, they are just interested in defending nonsense. That's the way I see it. I feel everybody know what is happening in that region. People are not ignorant. People know very well what is going on. With the war that is going on there, the killing, it's just too much. Their topic, it's just like when people are discussing Biafra. Sometimes I don't like discussing that topic. The single reason is because of the number of people that were killed. I don't like discussing it. I try to stay away from it. To me, it's just rubbish.
So what do you think though about there is this other aspect that is going on in the West now, maybe all over the world even, this censoring that is going on, where if you say one word out of line, boom, your channel is shut and they will just throw you out.
It's not now. It's not now. You don't know. Have you?
Because I think the way our people understand the West is like freedom of everything. Freedom is free.
There is no freedom, man. Don't be deceived. They know. Like there are stuff you will say, you can't even say them. Say something against the Jewish people, for example. In Canada and US, you can go to jail straight up. It's not, they're not bargaining. So
to be fair, saying something against Jewish people as a people, maybe the one that is troubling is when they say something against Israel. They say it's anti-Semitism.
That is what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying. It's there. It's real. Even we here, you gotta be careful what you say. It's real. So that tells you a lot, right? You know that I was just thinking now, like when the British were trying to, when they were trying to locate, what's it called? Get a place for the Jewish people, right? You know, Africa was one of the places that was marked. What I was just thinking, I said, Arabs they still give them little respect. Probably that's why by now that land is not level. I begin to think if it was Africa, who is going to protect us though? We could have just been wiped out on the surface of the earth. Maybe it's only Jamaica and Caribbean that will remain.
Just raise the point just now that is interesting about
whether I'm just thinking.
I want to ask KJ though. KJ, I don't know because I know a lot of Southeast people, Southeasterners in Nigeria, they love that, they have good relationship and they like Israel. Do you think if they say Israel should move into the Southeast, that they will be happy?
Well, first and foremost, why will you ask Israel move into the Southeast?
I'm just curious.
That's the thing. If you go back and if we accept that the Bible is a book of history, the history has already been defined by whatever is written in the Bible, and it transits beyond whatever the UN did. You know, when they set out to establish a state of Israel, and there are more archaeological evidences to prove these points, that this place belonged to a particular.
Let me have my time. I've given you time.
I'm just curious because
I thought I was asked a question.
Let me finish my time.
Israel. I was just curious whether they will be happy for Israel to come and join them.
There is no need. Stop wasting your time on this topic.
It's a silly question, really. I'm just in my head. I just felt like I need to ask that.
It is, but the things I just want to point out. I just want to point out a couple of things. You saw what happened at the UN, right? When Netanyahu wanted to speak, more than close to 70% left leaders. You think these world leaders don't know what is going on? You think they are ignorant? They know now. Everybody, people are handicapped.
All your African leaders.
Let me finish.
Don't they have an empty hall? Don't they have your African leaders when they are speaking?
Hold on.
Why do we do this foolishness? There's a difference between an empty hall and people walking now because you're speaking. Let's
not
don't worry.
Describe
Forefather,
let's try to be civil. This is PG session. When we go to X-rated session, we can start.
Hold on. So Forefather, so you think the world leaders, they don't know what is going on? You think they are foolish? They know what's going on. Netanyahu, they have to ban UN, the UN boss. They say she should not come to Israel again. For telling you don't kill people, don't kill stop bombing innocent people, stop bombing hospitals, stop bombing schools, stop. You telling him not to come. The last week, France President Macron told the world leader, like, hey, you guys are saying these guys should stop bombing Gaza. You still giving them weapon. You need to stop. Netanyahu went after him. He was calling me. I said, yeah.
That one doesn't fear anybody anymore. Anybody that says anything, he goes after them.
That is his level of arrogance. You follow Netanyahu. Even Obama, do you know how this man disrespected Obama as president of America? He was almost telling him to go to hell. Not only Obama, even he had issue with Clinton. They have all this kind of.
You know my prediction. I made this prediction about 6 months ago. I said someday in the future, Israel will become a problem for America. That's a problem that America needs to deal with.
That is what is going on right now. What
is going on inside Israel now? Most people don't understand. There is a level of genocidal intent. And they are all in support of it. Most of them are in support of it. Some of them may not like Netanyahu, but they are for taking more land from West Bank and making sure Hamas doesn't see the light of the Gazans. Don't see. If possible, go and take the land from them too. They want the entire Israel, ideally without the Palestinians. and that is going to be a problem for America to confront sooner or later. That's my prediction.
America, no, of course. Right now, you just said with what happened in Iran, right? People are saying that is not a real earthquake, that Iran were testing nuclear weapon. Who can prove it wrong? You know what I mean? So there are a lot going on. China are there waiting on one hand. Russia are there waiting on one hand. Iran have been supplying Russia weapon to fight Ukraine. Iran and Russia, they are quite close. In terms they are allies. So Russia will not let Iran go down like that. So these are issues I'm afraid of what is going on. If Israel go ahead and bomb Iran oil facility, Iran are threatening they're going to crash all the oil facility in the Middle East.
Yeah,
do you know what
you know what? I'm thinking that's not going to be bad for Dangote. Dangote will be like, hey,
hold on. The Red Sea is there.
Dangote will be
Houthi rebel, they are on the Red Sea. Don't forget, the Strait of Hormuz is in Iran. They are going to block it, cut the whole world off from ship from the crisis that is coming. That's what I'm actually the biggest crisis. That's what I'm actually afraid of right now. Because it's going to affect everybody. It's going to affect.
I think Iran tested nuclear weapons last weekend.
Nigeria that are struggling to eat already, struggling to eat now, even when everything is okay. So just imagine if there is a major war that is affecting everything in Nigeria. So there is a lot. There is a lot, to be honest, going on. We kind of like we are playing with fire for real. We are playing with fire because America understand this. They understand it's not going to be easy because even in China now with Taiwan, there is another crisis that is not settled. North Korea with South Korea, they are.
There's that tension there.
A lot going on. So we just need to be careful.
My suspicion is that even when you tell Israelis, they know. I tell them, this thing that is going on with the occupation. Since 1990, if you look at before that Intifada was basically peaceful protest. The next one, a few guns. The next one, suicide bombing. The next one, rockets. It's getting worse and worse.
Getting worse.
You should be reading the signs. This thing is getting more and more dangerous, all because you refuse to let the people go. And they do see the pattern, but they can't help themselves anymore. They are so full of kind of impunity now. Power corrupts. This is what happened.
Don't forget, even the Iron Dome was unable to stop Iran missiles. If Iran throw 1,000 missiles, you're gonna stop them. So the crisis is just too much. I'm looking at it from the past. It's going to affect the whole world. Look at even when Ukraine and Russia started war, they said there is food crisis. It's just too much. So I will let other people. Fofana, I think somebody want to join. You need to put the link.
I think okay. If Iran, let's say, I actually believe that Iran tested nuclear weapon last weekend.
That is my thought too.
Yeah, and that is why Israel hasn't responded till now.
But people Iran will be scared. If you use nuclear weapon on Israel, America are going to.
No. What that means is that you can't get rid of the regime. If you try to get rid of the regime, so. And then if Iran announces it openly that they have nuclear weapons, one big headache for America, because Saudi Arabia wants nuclear weapon. If Saudi Arabia wants nuclear weapon, Turkey wants nuclear weapon. If Turkey wants nuclear weapon, Egypt wants nuclear weapon.
So you see,
and I think now you see
a discussion, or it's between you and AY, so we'll know.
Hey KJ, seriously.
Okay. I have a question. I have a question for you and AY. I have a question for you and AY. So I don't know what you guys are actually pushing for. Are you saying that when Israel was attacked the first time, I think, is it in October or something of last year, and then the second attack now, that Israel should not defend itself? Is that what you're saying? That they should just fold their hands and watch their people being killed? So whenever Israel tried to defend itself, then they will start shouting these victim mentality. Hold on, can do. So are you saying that Israel should not defend itself? Crying victim mentality all the time to seek the pity of the entire world, while you are committing genocide on people. And at the end of it, some gullible people who will be sympathizing with these people. Honestly, if I was Israel, I will finish these people once and for all. Let's just have peace in that area.
What?
Are you saying that Israel cannot survive? Israel should just be wiped off because of the fact that they live in midst of terrorists
Let me
controlling the
just put
states?
in, Kenny, I am
Because
for
they
Israel
because
defending
they are in
itself.
the midst of terrorist
No,
states,
no.
Islamic
You are
terrorist states. They should
misunderstanding,
not
Kenny.
defend
You are
themselves.
misunderstanding it. Hold on. You are misunderstanding it. I am for Israel defending itself. I'm also for Israel. Even has what they call obligation. They have to. They have to protect their citizens. Is how you go about it. You
True.
don't go about flattening the whole areas and acting as if you are going after Hamas. We know full well if they can go
There is
and
no aesthetics. There is no
hold on now.
aesthetics in war.
Calm down. They have told you what they want to do. I will play some of the videos so you see. They have told you you are the one saying they have nice motive. They just want to go and defend their people. They are telling you that they want to get rid of the Palestinians. That's their own.
Godfather, Ekene's nothing from behind. Hold on.
If I know that you
Ekene,
are my
hold on.
enemy and you want to wipe
Some
me
people
off,
were here before you. You have to hold on.
Don't
Hold on.
worry.
Hold on.
If
Slow
Israel
down.
could wipe down, if Israel could flatten Iran, guess what? They would have been did it. They can't.
Hold on. Let me have my say. Since other
They
people
can't.
who came after
Iran
me.
is not.
Hold on.
Let's try to be a little bit orderly. The point I was making before is that Israel is supposed to defend itself. You can't go and attack people's citizens and expect them not to defend themselves. And yes, there will be civilian collateral damage. But what we are seeing is not that. That is something else. They flatten almost all Gaza right now, and
Okay.
at the same time, then one of the things that they wanted to do was that they are advising them to live there. They are even planning to give them money to leave that area. So that the objective is what you should be worrying about, not necessarily that they are trying to go. These are the people that are able to put bombs inside Hezbollah's this in pagers and this. You are telling me they couldn't do that to Hamas? That they control the entire territory? I don't know, man.
You know the funny part. You know the funny part.
Can I
Some
have
people
my
will still
say?
defend Biden. Yes, they will still defend Biden.
Can I hold on? Let me have my say. So yeah, guys. Hello, guys. It's always nice to talk to you guys. I think this was very one-sided. So I think KJ tried to put in a piece, but I just said, let me come in I don't like to discuss this war. I've made it known many times here. And, I'll put that, in place, then, have what I want to say. Here's the problem with this war. This war is a media war. This war is, it's a kind of a romanticized war. There's nothing romanticized about war, but I know what I'm saying. Because there's a war going on just in the northern part of Nigeria. It's called Sudan. Estimates that the war, which is in Africa, which those people kind of associate a little bit with us, is that about 110 to 150,000 people have died in that war. 150,000. Estimates in this war started after the Hamas war. People say Israel war and Hamas, but I think Hamas started the war, right? Everybody agrees. So more than 3 times number of people have been killed in the Sudan war. Why is the media not talking about it? Why are we, the Africans, not talking about the war that chased most of our brothers home, especially in the north, who were in the universities there? Nobody, there's something, forefathers, whenever I talk to you, I think most of the times I align with you when you talk about security. But which of this war aligns with our own national security goals or interrupts it? Because after that war, I can guarantee you, just like what happened in Libya, there's going to be thousands and millions of small arms flooding the northern Nigeria. But we don't talk about that war. There's a lot of information. There was an information that came out today in one of the media that America has a key to stop that war today if they wanted to stop the war in Sudan. Nobody stopped. Egypt has joined that war within the past 2 weeks. But nobody's talking about that war. What we are talking about is, I heard someone say, 40,000 people have been, 15,000 children have been killed in Gaza. In 2 years, 1 million people were, in 1 year, 1 million Biafran children were starved to death in 3 years. Let me count for you. The math is 330,000 people per year.
Mr. Odi, if
can
I
I
was
finish
around, I would have precise Nigeria.
But you know, I'm just trying to state facts here. Well, you're around, and the Sudan war is going on. The Sudan war is going on, and you're around, but you're not saying anything about
every
it.
single time. Even those that I talk to, I said,
Hold on.
those leaders of Sudanese that
Let me
were
just finish my thought.
9mm and put it to their head and end
Yes. When I've been listening to you guys, it just feels like it's an agenda against Israel. I've said it before many times. I don't really care about whether it's Israel or Gaza. Let me tell you, there's something that happened during the World Cup. Morocco, I think 2 years ago, Morocco was in the semifinals, right? They were almost winning. They denied Africa. They said they were not Africans anymore. You know, and this is, for me, who are my people here? You know, if you go to Gaza, you be a second-class citizen, any of us there. If you go to Israel, you be a second-class citizen. You know, and if you go to that Gaza, you know, because why don't we even call out, you know, let's say Gaza? You know, can me and you go there and contest election?
If you go to Israel, what are you doing?
I'm saying they are just as bad.
Let me ask.
Let me finish my point. Because hold on. Because
let's try to keep it orderly. Let me ask him a simple question.
Let me finish one point, then you ask your question.
Okay.
I've always said one of the guys I like in the leaders is the Saudi Arabian guy, you know, MBS. He likes his country. It's not very nice guy, not very, you know, he plays PlayStation, I like that, but he doesn't take his country for granted. Let me tell you, it's that country, there is, you can call it apartheid also, right? Because only one family will rule them forever. They will not let anybody come, and you can't be they won't even give you citizenship.
That's not
Israel finds a way.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Okay, this guy continues to interrupt me. But forefather, go ahead and ask your
question.
Why
would you wait, forefather? Why would you say that's an appetite? Because
I'm surprised.
No. Because what he said is that Israel. Somebody said that in Israel. Hold on now.
Let me just ask a simple question. We don't want to start doing this now.
Why would you call it?
Not yet. My spirit.
I said I don't think it is. I'm saying if we go by the same logic, the logic that someone had put up earlier. I don't want to call names today. Someone had put up.
When I want to ask a question,
can I just finish? You ask the question. I'm trying to answer it.
I asked the question. I haven't asked you.
You did. You said, "Why did I say?"
I haven't.
Somebody asked it. Yeah. Well, forefathers want to ask. I don't want to go back and forth with you and speak the truth.
You stopped me from asking. So ask your question.
You stopped me from asking, and he's talking, pretending like I asked a question. It's very simple. Why would you call a monarchical system of government an apartheid just because one family rules it and you don't agree with that system of government? It was my simple question. How does that equate to apartheid? Except you agree that you do not know the meaning of apartheid,
but I do.
Disingenuous.
You've asked that question. I said, hold on. Now he asked the question. That's the same question I was answering, and he said he didn't ask the question. I said I don't agree I don't think it's an apartheid system that is in Saudi Arabia. It's just a form of government. Hold on now. Can you just let me answer the question? It's a form of government. Monarchy is a form of government. What Israel has is also a form of government, because what somebody was insinuating is that because Israel wouldn't let the Arabs or the non-Jews in their country get to the top echelon of leadership means that they're apartheid system. I said, if you're trying to say that's an apartheid system, you know, then you can also call the one in Saudi Arabia apartheid system. I don't think they are. I think they are all both types of. Hold on, all you're trying to do.
Let's do this now. I speak the truth. Hold on.
Can I just finish? You asked a question, you wouldn't let me finish.
I speak the truth. Hold
Oh,
on.
this guy is, you gotta just control yourself. Let me finish the question. That's democracy is not the only type of government. In Iran, only a man who is not voted for rules them. And when he's leaving,
let me ask my question. You're not teaching me anything.
You asked the question. I'm trying.
No, you can't teach me anything about that.
Let it be now. You are going to get your chance to say everything you want to say.
Cutting me off
because you are interrupting. That's why.
He has answered the question. There's nothing to teach me about government. I don't want to know about government. I've asked my question.
Now let
me ask him a question based on the statement. It's very simple.
No, I don't. Hold on. Let Forefather have the question, please.
Okay, so
I'm not here to learn about government.
You said something about.
You can read it up.
You said something about the war started on the 6th, on the 7th of October.
I didn't say that, but yes, it's a fact. Yes.
Yeah. Are you aware of the state of? There was a report that came out on the 6th of October, just before the 7th of October, that indicates that the Gazans have experienced the worst year ever since the whole issue started. Do you know how many people that have died before that time? Before the 7th of October. So the issue is that people don't know all this. I will share some of the casualties. I think
we know that. That's the media spill. We know
it's a fact of the situation, not a media
Do
spill.
you want me to answer that, or you have more things to say?
Really, if you are aware, you are not aware.
They can never be honest, man.
Because that's why you said. Let me just share this information with you.
Please
and
share
so you see, I want you to tell me whether these things are moral things to be doing, and these are moral acts. Okay, let's just go. First of all, I hear your point about casualties in Sudan. As you can see, this is a casualty in Sudan, in a massive country. Sudan is a relatively big country, and they've lost 30-something thousand people in that conflict, at least 20,000 killed. But in Gaza alone, we're talking about 40-something thousand. It's a small area.
This is just one source. There are other sources. Go and you're just... What you're reading is what source? What are you quoting? There's so many sources.
This one is a civil war. This one is even a civil war that lasted very, very long period of time. This is not.
No, he hasn't actually. What are you saying?
He hasn't. And this until present, isn't it? That's a civil war. So this is a country, and this is a big country. But in Israel, Gaza is a small country of 120 million. Lancet, the Lancet people believe that 186,000 has lost their lives in Gaza alone, and this is just from last year. If you take into account all those that died from starvation, disease, and all the rest.
Wait, you want to believe Lancet over Hamas?
No. Lancet is Lancet.
You're trying to even make this thing look worse.
No. Lancet. What do you think Lancet is? Lancet is an international organization. It's not Hamas.
But forefathers. Why don't we use the
are they in Gaza?
Number of 42,000?
Yes, because they are in Gaza, and if we even go by the Gazan numbers, which has been historically been proven to be accurate. Remember, Israel has the birth certificate of all these people that have been killed. They know them. So it's not new. So they're talking about 42,000 now, and over 16,000 children that have been killed.
Godfather, Lancet is a British medical, journal. It's
exactly. These are very, very serious people. That they are the ones that probably gave us the kind of numbers we use for the casualties in Biafra or in many conflicts in the world. These are the kind of people that do those numbers, and they are telling you that 180-something thousand have been killed in 1 year.
So, you need to really step back and listen to what you're saying. Hamas is saying that only 42,000 people are dead. What you're pushing is
not Hamas. That is.
It's Hamas now. What are you saying?
What do you mean Hamas?
Hamas is the health ministry. When we call it, the government of Gaza.
Not the government, it's the ordinary people. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying who has the numbers? Who gave out the numbers?
He's saying that because it's Hamas.
No, I said the government. The government of Gaza is Hamas. They're the ones. It's their health ministry that is giving the numbers.
Why is it even complicated? He's saying that it's Hamas that released the numbers. I don't know why that is complicated. I think that's the issue that Odi has with it. But Odi, Hamas numbers has proven to be correct historically. They've had multiple wars.
I agree with the number. I'm saying, why are you quoting Lancet now? Leave Lancet alone.
Because Lancet takes into account other people that died, not only people that died from weapons.
The problem is the majority of that 42,000 are regular human beings, not
children and women. Children and women.
How many are Hamas members? How many?
The majority.
How many are Hamas members?
Approximately
Since they know how to
16,000
count.
children.
The 16,000 children, are they Hamas
How many
members?
are Hamas members?
The 16,000 children, are they Hamas members as well?
I'm asking a question. Educate me now.
I don't know. I'm just giving you the known
I
figures,
think
the
I've
accepted
been
known
asked this question
figures.
before,
You
even
see,
by
the
Israelis.
reality, forefathers, can I come in? The reality
go
is
ahead.
this. There are no easy solutions to these things. This thing did not start yesterday. Unfortunately, the vast majority of Africans and Nigerians, just like before, you see, there was a time, because of the plight of the Jewish people, because of what they went through in Eastern Europe in the 30s and the 40s. There was a time, even in this America, if you said anything against the Jewish nation, you are a parasite. But people have now come to understand that Judaism and the Israeli government is not, number one, they're not even, the vast majority of them are not even Christians. But our people, they think, they hear Jerusalem, they think Christian. And that is the narrative. But the reality is this, Mr. Audi or anybody else, me, I don't support foolishness. I don't support my own foolishness. I will never support somebody else's foolishness, regardless of who they are. Whether you're my brother, you're my country, you're my whatever. I go with what is right. Killing 16,000 children by any name is wrong. By any way where you want to define them is wrong. And anybody that refuses to accept that, well, I leave them to their conscience.
Nobody disagrees with you, can do.
You're not going to
You
drive the
disagree,
Palestinians
Cody.
to the
You need
desert.
to speak.
No. Please don't quote me. I said what I said.
Look, listen.
Don't try to be clever.
I have been following this thing. I have been following this thing since the day of Bill Clinton.
The problem with you is that you're the one associating it with religion. Because you're Muslim, you're trying to go like Muslim. Just take it easy.
I don't talk
Just take it easy.
I'm Christian.
I'm not talking about you can do. AY is the one. For you, that's what it's all about.
Let's be organized. Come on.
I support what is right.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if my mama born you. If you're wrong, I'm going to tell you you are wrong.
Israelis are not even Jews or Christians.
I don't support religion. I don't support ethnicity. It doesn't matter. Whatever the truth is whatever the truth is. And the reality is, nobody look, the people that have been doing this thing since forever. If this land, let me put it to you this way, go and look at YouTube. Go and look at YouTube. These people, they put them in vessels. They were even thinking about putting them in Kenya in 1946. They were driving them all over the sea, trying to see where they would put them. If that is your land, if that was your land, why will anybody be trying to find another place for you?
Can I answer you?
Hold on.
No.
When the British were in charge of Gaza, the same way the Palestinians are trying to bomb the Israelis, that's how they were bombing the British people. They were being called terrorists because they were bombing them with all kinds of bombs all over the place. So one man's terrorist,
David Hotel,
freedom fighter. So don't let us get this screwed up. The reality is, hopefully, the good news for me is that the younger children in Israel and in Palestine today, they are beginning to see the truth. They're beginning to see the truth on both and all sides. And those children are saying, this is not going to continue in my name. So whether it is 50 years from now, whether it is 100 years from now, those children are going to find a way to be able to live together. And if you think, even if Iran tested a nuclear weapon, the known number is that Israel has 220 nuclear warheads. They will flatten all of the Arabian countries. They will flatten them.
That's if Israel has it. And even if they do attempt to use a nuke, the nuclear wind does not blow one way. So if you think you can blow up Iran, you're going to blow up the entire Middle East, including yourself. So
no, they are not going to be able to attack Iran anymore. The consequences are too
they
far.
can't. They can't. If Israel
No,
can
they're
attack
not going to
So,
attack
so
them.
the
I
problem is
think they will attack.
Israel
They
will
oh,
will attack,
Father,
attack.
but
They
I'm
will
here.
not
I'm here to
kill
balance
Israel.
this up.
It'll
You
be
know,
a
so
mess
yeah.
there.
because all
Man,
of you are
I'm
in sync.
passionate about this. So calm down now. We have all day here. We are
just talking garbage.
No, but I think the truth was, cutting in.
because
You are attacking
I
everyone.
just
I'm
came
trying to
in. I
balance
just
it.
came
You
in like
people
30
are all
seconds.
in
it's
sync.
only fair.
I'll
It's
step
right.
out so you guys can have fun.
Yeah,
You know.
Odi. Let's
Yeah,
allow,
Jago
because
has
Odi is
not
the only one on the
speaking.
other
Allow
side.
him
We
to
shouldn't
speak.
just
But it doesn't matter.
shut
He's
him out.
spoken.
I have to
Everybody's
balance it
spoken.
because you guys are just,
Calm
and
down.
that's why I came here, because you guys are just having a party.
Clark,
You know.
anybody that supports okay, anybody that feels that the Israeli point of view is not being highlighted, they can join. And I think Jago hasn't said anything. Let's welcome him into the conversation. I think we've all had our say
I
here
haven't
and
said
there.
No, I
anything.
haven't had anything.
Yes, you
I've asked
have.
questions. No,
What
I
am
Okay,
I
haven't.
telling you?
I speak the truth.
No, I haven't. I
I
asked
speak
questions.
the
You
truth.
keep
You've been
doing
interrupting
something.
so much.
I
You've been
asked,
interjecting so
no,
much.
I asked him a
You
question, and
sideline, bro. You
I just
sideline.
interjected
But
with
we have time. Let's
You
just
keep
allow Jago
talking
to
over
say
me, then
something.
you say I've spoken. Like if you don't want me here for father, let the real. Just tell me and let me leave. Because I
Why?
asked you
No,
a
I
question.
speak the
I
truth.
supposed to
Calm
let me
down,
tell
calm
you.
down, calm
We are
down,
all on
bro.
the
Give it
same
on to
side.
it. Like, come on, stop playing. I've been on here with you guys
Okay,
enough to know
fine,
you guys are playing games with
Wait,
me.
Let's
guys,
go to
everyone, calm down.
Odi will come back to you. Let's I speak the truth. Have his say now, please. I speak the
No,
truth.
it
Go
doesn't
ahead.
matter if you think Jagun is next, that's fine. But what you're doing today, and which I do not appreciate, is the fact that each time I try to ask a question, you keep talking over me. And then you say you've spoken. And I get it when people don't. I know you guys enough on here to know when you want to frustrate someone. I've been on here
No,
with
I
you
don't want to
guys
frustrate you.
for 5 months. So if you want to frustrate someone, there's a certain tactic you guys do, talking over the person, muting them, all that shit. I ask simple questions. I
But you
didn't
did it to
discuss.
me. I wanted to ask a question. You said I should stop.
No, I
So
asked Odia. I was going to ask Odia a question based on what he claimed that the Saudi government was an apartheid government. So I asked him
No,
if
I
it was
didn't
a
say that.
monarch.
You're going back. You're saying
And then
I did
before I
not
even
say that.
spoke, he started answering, and I didn't finish what I was asking. And then when he just spoke now, I just interjected for like what 10, 15 seconds, and you say no, you spoke.
thank you.
Come on, son.
Okay, thank you
Yeah,
about on that.
take control
Let
now.
me ask him before when Jago returns. Odi, are you for or against an apartheid system of government?
No, I'm not for an apartheid system of government. And I've made it very known. How
So
can I,
are you
know?
against what Israel is doing to the Palestinians?
No. I don't think it's apartheid. That's the problem. I think it's just their own system of government.
So
The problem is because we're trying to make Israel to be a democratic
okay,
society.
Odi,
Even
tell
as they
me, Odi, hold on now. Let me ask you now. There's no need. Try to understand why you think compared to apartheid is not the same thing.
Okay, that's what. So, apartheid system is a sort of a caste system whereby, people are separated based on ethnicity or color, right? And they are not allowed. The other, there's a hierarchy where only these people can get this stuff. It's not the same thing in Israel.
You just
In
described
It's
Israel,
actually the same.
You
It's
just
either in
described
Israel. You don't
Israel.
know.
hold on. Let's look at. I think the name apartheid was actually, came up during South Africa, right? And then let's go to what happened in South Africa. In South Africa, black people could not become their, like high class judges, or could not be president, their prime minister
They could
or
not rise in
president.
society. Period.
Sorry.
They couldn't rise in society.
They couldn't. But in Israel, Arabs can be judges also, right? They're not just allowed, you have Arabs in the Knesset.
Dude,
So the
they're Arab Jews. What are you talking about? They're Arab Jews.
What is the problem? What are you guys, forefather? Let me ask you, hold on now, hold on. You asked me a question. Forefather, let me throw back this question to you. In South Africa, could Mandela have been part of the the ruling party? in South Africa during apartheid.
Adi, what's your point?
My point is that you have Arabs in the Knesset.
Oh, let's try to answer in an orderly way. This is getting chaotic. Viewers cannot understand what is going on. Palestinians in Gaza cannot vote. Palestinians in Gaza and this in West Bank are not involved.
No, I'm talking about Israel. Gaza is not considered
what's the
Israel.
point?
That's the point. They are holding them there.
Father,
they are not keeping them as part of the country.
All day is completely ignorant of what is going on there. You need to
stop insulting me. You know, the problem is AY, you know, just, you know, have some respect, you know. You're just you're always trying to throw bombs at me.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
I don't insult you.
Ode, I'm sorry. Ode, I'm sorry.
Let's not do that.
I'm sorry, Ode. I'm sorry, Ode.
So, but please, because we have to reason with each other here. I'm trying to let him understand that people in Gaza and people in the West Bank are not allowed to vote. They are part of Israel right now.
But they vote in their own elections. They have their own elections.
Yeah, but those people don't control anything. You are telling them it's like Bantustan. In Bantustan in South Africa, they are allowed to govern themselves, aren't they?
No, the problem. So, Father, let me step back a little bit, because the problem is, you know, let's match Israel. Even let's put Gaza together with the West Bank, and bring it to South Africa, as it were, in the 70s and in the 60s. At least there are some Arabs. I'm asking, are there not some Arabs who live in that land who are in the Knesset?
Because they are Arab Jews.
No, I'm asking for Father. I didn't ask you.
Yes.
So I'm asking for Father.
You know too much about it, and that's why you like
it.
Okay,
let him answer. I speak the truth. Answer.
No, what?
Okay. It is obvious that he is not too educated on the subject. It is obvious that there's a lot of people on here that just come to speak and are not too educated.
Can you just answer the question? We are busy talking about
so
viewers want to understand.
So I said the Arab Jews are different. They are not Palestinians. They are not Muslims. And for those of you that are conflating this and mixing up with your Christian religion and Christian ideology, let me tell you, you need to go on the internet. First of all, these people are Zionists. They are neither Jews, they are neither Christians. In fact, you as a Christian, they hate you more than they hate Muslims. As bitter
let's not generalize.
No, let me
remember this is the damage has its standard. Let's not generalize here.
No, forefathers, that's not a generality. That is what it is.
Every time. So if
but let me can I just ask you?
Let us speak the truth. Speak, please. Let one person speak.
So these people, these Zionists, these usurpers from Europe that come today and pretend like they're Semitic people, those of you that support them today, October 12th, 2024, I guarantee you, when it's all said and done, you will stand on the wrong side of history, because it is either most of you do not understand what is going on, or you are willfully and genuinely being mischievous and disingenuous. There is no reason why a people will come all the way from Eastern Europe and come to a land in the Middle East and claim the land for themselves. The whole world. Like I was watching KJ earlier. KJ was talking about the media is being censored and being biased against Israel. On what part of the planet? We're in Pakistan or in Afghanistan? Because if you talk about the United States, if you talk about
I have a question for you.
No, you ask your question, sir. So if you talk about the Western countries, what they are doing is they are stifling the real information coming out of Palestine. For a long time, they kept telling us that most of the kids and women that were being killed and bombed in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, and even in the West Bank, they told us they were terrorists. They were Hamas terrorists. You would think Hamas has a logbook where they log in every day and say, I am coming in for the 8 a.m. to 6 a.m. shift. Until the Gaza Ministry of Information brought it out and said, in fact, you see that 40,000 number we are saying right now, it might be 3 to 4 times more than that. Okay, there's a reason. Like all of you. Go ahead. Ask your question.
Yes, I have 2 questions. Because you said, I said it before here, that if any of us were in Gaza or Israel will be second-class citizens. You made a point that, these Christians who are trying to associate with Israel, that Israel doesn't like them. Let me ask you, the people in Gaza, do they like me?
I don't know. I'm not a Gazan. I don't live there, and I would assume you're not
But
a
so you
Gazan
live in
either.
Israel.
Yeah, I've read
I can
enough
ask a
about
question.
Israel.
So why do you have
Let me
authority
ask you.
to
Wait,
talk
wait,
down
wait.
on
Ask me a
Israel,
question. You
but you
asked me
don't
a
want to talk on
question.
the other
You
side?
asked.
That's
I
one
asked you a
question.
question.
There's,
I
there's
couldn't
another
answer.
question for you.
You
I have
asked
another
me.
question.
No, let me answer that
You can
question.
answer the
Let
two
me answer
together.
the first question. Let me answer the first question, sir.
Go ahead.
So we know enough about Gaza based on my job, which at least my former job. We know enough about what happens in that area. So I say that authoritatively. I say that with fact and statistics. And in fact, the beauty of the world today is that we are in the information age. Okay, so if you actually want to go on the internet, if you decide to put in some work and not be lazy, go on the internet and check the relationship
Yeah,
between
I've been respectful
the
talking to
native,
you. If
the
you talk to
native,
me
the native.
in a derogatory manner,
I
then
didn't
I'm not
talk to
going
you
to
in a
let you do that.
derogatory manner.
Mr.
Yeah,
You
I
Speaker,
didn't
speak
there's
the
no
listen.
truth.
point
Stop,
I
in
don't
stop.
I don't
Just
leave the
respect me. I've
Can
respected
you
you.
let
You
me
don't
let's
hold
take
on.
finish?
You
the
can't talk to
jibes
me
out of
that
it.
way. I've been
Yeah.
respectful to you.
What did I
Don't
My
say
call
that
me
was
apologies.
lazy.
My
wrong?
I
apologies.
actually do know this very well, and that you're trying to confabulate. Just do
But
not
you didn't let me
disrespect me.
finish. Why do you
But
people
you're
play this?
disrespecting me. You don't have
Okay,
monopoly of that.
I disrespected
It's a
you in what
show.
way? Okay, I'm
Please.
sorry. Whatever you think I said, I'm sorry. Let me finish. It is you people. I think you people think people are stupid when they try to say something and then you decide to interject just because you do not like what you're hearing, and then you start pulling out things and say you insulted me. In any event, if you want to go check on your own, feel free to go check the relationship between the native Israelis, so-called native Israelis, the Zionists that are there today, and you as a Christian cannot go there and preach the word of Jesus outside the gates of inside the gates of Jerusalem. You can't do that. You're getting spit on, you're getting stoned, and you're getting kicked out of there. In fact, you might end up finding yourself in prison. So you can't
Thank
preach
you.
the word of
Okay,
Jesus.
so you've said that. There's one more question for you, and
Let me
just my
ask.
last after that. Just
Let
let
me
me ask
ask.
him one last question, for
Okay,
Father,
ask.
pardon
Go ahead.
me.
Go ahead.
So, and can do, you answer this also. You
Is
said
it from me
these
or
guys
can
came
do? Let
from,
me know. I don't want to
both of
interrupt
you,
you,
any
sir.
of them can answer it. So you said they came from, these guys from Eastern Europe and all that. They came in boats and all that. When is it the good time to come to a place? Is it 100 years or 2,000 years or 5,000 years? Who is the native? Because there's somebody that said, talked about, there was somebody who talked about very, very eloquently about the power in that video that forefathers played, about the power of how do you own a land? Now, is it the people that came in after the British mandate, or the people that came in during
Kendra, I'd
the
like to
Ottoman
take this one,
Empire? Let
please.
me finish. Or the people that came in after the Romans? Who are the people or the people who are going to come next century when all these things are done? Who will own the land?
All
Go
right, so
ahead.
let me ask you a
Okay.
very simple question.
Oh,
If people
No,
came
wait. Let me ask that. Let
hold
me
on.
ask
If
that.
people came
He asked two
from
questions. No, he
Alabama
asked two
right
questions
now,
though.
and if a
Yo,
bunch of Black Americans came from Alabama right now or Mississippi and came to wherever village you're
no.
from in the Southeast
I
and
speak the truth. Hold
decided,
on.
can I finish, please?
He asked two questions. No,
And they
he asked two questions.
decided, and they decided
Let's
that
hold on. We are all on the same
Don't
side.
if
personalize it to me. Just talk about
if
the
a
issue.
bunch of people came from the southern United States right now and said they trace their ancestry to whatever village you're from in the Southeast and decided that they want to take that space that you call home because their ancestors used to live here just as recently as 600-700 years ago, how would you feel? So now take that and times it by 5. You have 3,000 years and a bunch of people that do not look Semitic. They don't even sound Semitic. In fact, Israel itself banned genetic testing in Israel.
Well, I think you're just digressing. You didn't answer the question. But maybe the other guy can try.
No, Mr. Odi,
You're just digressing now. I'm saying who owns the land?
Mr.
You're
Odi,
telling.
he did answer the question.
Well, what's the answer? He's just talking about Israel and genetic test and all that.
Talking over me because you know what I'm about to say and you do not like what I'm
The
about to say.
problem is you're very angry. You're always very angry when we're talking about.
Let's bring it down a notch. You know, there's no need for us to be angry with each other.
You're always angry. Just I don't know what you're angry about. I'm not sure we're having a discussion.
Let him talk one at a time, please.
I was answering a question. Why don't you check him when he does it, but you come and start attacking the person that is being interrupted?
Go on. You're doing it. Go ahead. Don't let him distract you. Go ahead.
Why do you keep doing that?
Go ahead. Don't let him distract you.
Say something, he interrupts me, and then you attack me.
Go.
I'm trying to say that both sides should one at a time. That's all. Go ahead.
Please, everyone,
so
calm down.
There's a reason why genetic testing is banned in Israel, and it is because it will reveal that those people actually they belong to the Khazarian area of Europe, Eastern Europe. They are not native Semitic people.
No. Let's not bring those sort of things here now.
It is fact. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it might be fact. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm not saying I disagree.
Leave me alone to make his point.
I'm just saying that no, this is Dr. Damage's channel. I don't want things
to an anti-Israel charade. I'm out.
I speak the truth. Try to understand what I'm doing here. I'm trying to keep the channel open. Because even if what you are saying, there's some truth to it. These days, they are banning people for any reason now.
But that's what I'm being careful about. This is what you have to worry about. What you have to worry about is if anything I'm saying is not true.
Even if it's true, they ban you anyway. What are you talking about? Even if it's true, they ban you.
They can flag you for some of this.
Of course, you know that.
The channel can be flagged. It's not about whether it's truthful or not.
Hold up, can I please ask my question? So you're going to get banned because it is Israeli policy that genetic testing cannot be done in Israel, and nobody like myself states that on the podcast, and you're gonna get banned for that.
No, but it's not about whether you are truthful. Yeah, you could get banned. Don't you know what is going on the YouTube and social media? You know that now. You know that
the powers that
they ban people for anything
the powers
now.
that be, they're banning.
So basically, we shouldn't say anything.
That's
exactly. If you are backstage, maybe you can say such things, but not on air. You could get Dr. Damage in trouble. You know that. It's not because I'm saying what you're saying is actually wrong.
If you say, for example, death penalty is being carried out in Alabama, you could get in trouble for that, even though it's the truth.
No, nobody cares about that. But when you know this one is sensitive, they are very, very sensitive. If Netanyahu gets upset and says, I speak the truth should be taken offline, all hell breaks loose for Dr. Damage. So you see how he works. You know what I mean.
Okay. I mean, I guess we just need to just shut up and just let
you know what I mean. That's why we have to be careful.
No, yeah, seriously, I speak the truth. Exactly what you were saying. I mean, again, I have said this, and I'm sure a lot of people have said this. Unfortunately, there are no easy answers. There have been, I mean,
there are easy answers.
Smarter than me. I've been working on this.
Easy answers, and he was given the answer. He asked a question about who's the native, and he was explaining. He was giving the answer to that. And now
I understand. But look, I understand that, and I have said this before. If the land is hold on. If the land, let me finish it. If the land is yours, if the land was theirs and it was agreed that it was theirs, why would you put them on all these ships and be taking them all over the world trying to find a home for somebody who already has a home? It doesn't make sense to me.
I think that UN now has ratified things. Most of our nations were created arbitrarily too. UN has ratified things. There are rules in place. The 1967 and 62, 64 or 67, but I'm not sure which is which, that they had. That's where the dispute is frozen now. Israel was supposed to leave that space for Palestinians, but they keep taking the land from that area. That is where the problem is. And the idea behind, I wanted to ask Odi that, does he think Israel is on the right side of history on this one? because I believe that Israel is on the wrong side of history on this one, because I don't know of any people that has held other people's sovereignty without letting them go, and then they end up, everybody say, yeah, very good, you did very well in history, very well. No, they will say, you held them for too long, you are oppressing the people. That is wrong. And that is the question I went to ask Odi, but I never got the opportunity to ask.
It's the same way we condemned apartheid in South Africa. It's the same way. You can't. There's no two ways around it. You know what I'm saying? Apartheid is bad. It's wrong. Period. Israel is an apartheid state. Like, seriously, just do a Google search. It's a hardcore apartheid state. It's even worse than apartheid. They need to create a name for it.
Let's try to focus on this. Let's try to focus on from 1967 to this period, the border issue, because if we start going to and start talking about the origins and everything, you are more likely to fall into the trap of making it about being Jew. And it's not about being Jew, it's about what Israel is doing to a people that should be free. That is the real issue.
I don't even know how many.
I think Okija is here.
I don't know how many UN resolutions have been passed.
You're talking about the past.
I know. Resolutions have been passed since the 1980s. Don't take this land. Don't take that land, and they just continue to take the land.
They even passed it again this year. They even ICJ, all of them, they passed that Israel should end the occupation. They won't. They will,
because Israel has a plan.
Else.
If you go look at the patch of the Israeli army, okay, there's a map there.
Greater Israeli area.
That shows the greater Israeli area. Thank you, everyone. That shows the greater Israeli area. So they haven't started yet. They haven't started. It goes all the way to parts of Egypt, parts of Lebanon, even into Saudi Arabia. So they haven't started. And in fact, the Israeli... KJ said something, and I wish I came on then, but I was real busy. When he said they've been tempering it, they haven't been doing basically what they should. Listen, if these people had the chance right now, right today as we speak, they'll be in Iran. They can't do that. Iran's retaliation after the killing of Haniyeh and the killing of Soleimani and the bombing at the embassy, they didn't expect. They thought it was just going to be measured drones and old Russian missiles. What came at them this time, they didn't expect it. And that is how you treat bullies. When a bully bullies you, you bully the bully back.
I speak the truth. Let me tell you something, though. You see that no matter how many,
are you ready?
How many people did it kill?
The joke. Military installations. They just attacked military installations.
Okay, Okija, thank you for joining us. I appreciate your time. You seem to be far away from the camera. I don't know.
Just to say, I'm cooking. That's why I'm not ready. But when I land, I'll be ready.
Oh, nice
Jago,
one.
you better sell my food, though. When
nice
you
one.
You need to sell my otherwise, I'll go after you.
Exactly. Yeah, Okija, thank you for joining us. I don't know what you make of this. Do you think Israel is on the right side of history in this situation of Palestine looking for their freedom?
Yeah, I mean, like we know, what they say about history. History. The winners, they tell us what is history. But as there are so many information out there, what we are seeing right now, I don't think it maybe not in my generation, but I believe 50 years from now it's gonna be different for Israel, because a bunch of young people growing up in the US, all over the world, they're gonna they are seeing things, they are hearing things, and it's going to be different for Israel. So probably now they will win, in the US in the polls or whatever, in the election. They have people who are sentimentally attached to them. But believe me, in the next 50 years, they're not going to find those people, because, people, they know the truth. I was born and raised in Nigeria, like, all of you here. I was a Christian, I'm still a Christian. They fed us with all this Israel thing. So we believe that we bought it hook, line, and sinker. And but when I started reading, I started, reading history, finding out, that, this is not right. This is not right. As someone who read the Bible, you understand that there were 12 tribes. Okay, the land belonged to people called Canaanites. And Jacob lived amongst them, and then his son went to Egypt. Then he and his household followed his son into Egypt. People own that land. People own the Canaanites. They include so many other people like Goliath. His people, and Hittites. There are so many of them. They live there. So Israel, all of a sudden, they said God told them they left Egypt, and they started coming. They started killing people. For their land, for people, those people's land, not Israel's land. So somebody who's telling me that the land belonged to Israel, let me tell you, the land belonged to some people. So they came and took over the land, and they lived there. And the Bible, God told them in the Bible that those people that they didn't fit, that they should live in peace with those people. They should not mistreat those people. So that's what happened. So all over, just like I know the history of Okija. I know some parts. Okija means Okije, people that, Johnny. Okija was not founded by one person, a group of people that came. There were people living there before Okija, the whole people, came. And some of them lived among us right now. They will become, the Okija. Some of them, were chased out, they fought, some were killed. But those land, owned by people who are present in the Okija. Okay, what about people that left, during the war, that left? Went to maybe join other community, maybe Ihiala or some other communities and neighboring Okija. So that they come back now, they're telling you, oh, this land belongs to us. It's not going to happen. What happened was that Israel, when they formed Israel as a country, 12 tribes, whatever, then there was I think in the 700 BC, Assyrians came, they took the 10 tribes out. So it remained the two tribes. And then the Babylonians came and took the two tribes, the remaining two tribes. So there was no Israel anymore.
Then
so
the Romans.
In there, so many people coming from all over the place and started living there. And then also, if you read the Bible, when Jesus was preaching, he went to Samaria and he talked to the woman by the well. So, those people were, if you see the history, Alexander the Great, when he came to Egypt, he ruled over all the area of Middle East. So they intermarried with all these people. So some of the people in the Samaria, that's why people in Hebrews, they were thinking that the people in Samaria, they were contaminated Jew because they married with, Greek, Greek people. And so that was why, when the woman was saying something about when the Messiah come, that they were being discriminated because they thought that the Messiah was not for them or something like that. I will have to read that to get back to you more on that. But that was, the idea. So these people, they've been over the years, other people, other cultures, they came there and they started living with them. All of a sudden, there was the Ottoman Empire came, and then the British came over and took over, and then all of a sudden there was agitation, and they started killing people. They said, "Oh, this land belongs to them." And then when Israel was formed, Palestinians, Arabs, they were chased out. So many of them, they live in Jordan. So many of them live in Jordan right now. So many of them live in Syria now. So many other places scattered all over, in Lebanon, scattered all over. Now, when Israel was formed, they say that these people that they chased out during the war, because there was a big war. And these did a lot of atrocities during the war. It's all out there. If you want, you can contact me. I'll give you all the videos. You can watch free videos. You can watch online. Documentary. You see what happened. They chased these people out. And now they're saying they rename all the villages, give them a Jewish name, remove all the,
they rename themselves as well.
Yeah. So now they're saying, now when peace are being made, they're telling you that those people that left will not come back. But now what they do now is they go to Europe and especially Russia and import people into the land. Now, if you are married to someone who's say that she's Jew or whatever, and you maybe you had sons or daughters, children from another woman, no Jew, nothing. Those children are qualified to come back to Israel and become Jews. But then Palestinians that you chased out, living in Jordan, in camps in Jordan, they can't come back. I mean, so there's so many. I don't know, people that I don't know the way people look at it.
Can I ask you though, because Kene was here earlier on, he said because Israel was on their side when during the war in Nigeria, yes, that he has to be on the side of Israel now. So he is basically saying his own morality is based on who was on my side. It's not about, you know, any kind of universal morality. So from your point of view, how is it that you hold, do you think that point of view is valid to say, okay, because Israel is on my side, that I have to support Israel now, what they are doing now?
I mean, for Ekene and whoever, who anybody who says, you know, something like that, I have to use the weakest, you know, term to describe you. You have no integrity. So that's basically, you know, you don't know what is moral. You know, it doesn't matter. It is for me. Like, you know, I fought war here. There was a day I was saying something about the Zian in Madeke, you know, that she was a crook. And someone, you know, behind the called me was like, "Oh, she's Igbo." I said, "I don't care about if she's Igbo. You know, I don't care with Igbo or whatever. A crook is a crook. So if you are doing something that is not right, it's not right. There's no way you can justify it. Just because you're backing me doesn't mean that, you know, I have to say that, you know, whatever you are doing is right. Whatever they are doing is wrong. Anybody who has common sense will understand it. You can't kill. Yeah, there was October 7 happened. But why did October 7 happen? We have to, you know, look, you know, to the history why it happened, and then we have to look, you know, the context. But again, you know, like, you know, when you criticize, you know, they have the right to defend themselves, but would they have the right to indiscriminately bomb people? You know, like a small place. Israel is, I mean, Gaza is smaller than Lagos, I believe. You know, you start, you know, like, I mean, the heavy bombs all over the place, killing people anyhow. Well, someone here said something about the way they killed Hezbollah leaders, you know, with the bombing their page or whatever they did. I mean, you could have gone that way. I mean, just like, you know, Americans, Osama bin Laden, they gave him how many years? How many years they gave him? Someone thought maybe he has gone scot free. One day they got him one day. So that's what they should have done instead of just indiscriminately. Because it's another agenda. It's not just, you know, because they want to get Hamas. They want to, you know, like, you know, take up those places. And if you look at the history, what is happening in those places, you see you have Jews from US, from all over the world. They come back, they have no affiliation to the land, nothing, just because they claim they are Jew. They come, they get land, and the government will fight for them. Government, you know, they will go to Palestinians will go to court, and they will be defeated. Mm-hmm. So how do you want these people to be? What do you want? I mean, sometimes, you know, I look at them. I said, you know, like, I mean, God gave them some kind of patience, you know, like, you know, because if you still were me, I don't know what I would have done, you know.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Nice one, Okija.
Yeah, righteous man, the righteous shall inherit the earth, they say. Yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think Israel is on the right side of history on this one? In terms of not allowing the Palestinians to be free long time ago. They should have, personally, I think they should have done it long time ago. By now, Israel will be so advanced with all their closeness to America and everything. I don't know why they feel the need to hold on to these people. But please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening from here. For those Nigerians that reside in the US, we sincerely sympathize with you for the damages that the hurricane caused. Even if it does not, it didn't affect you, it may have affected somebody that you know or thereabout. So sincerely, you know, sympathize, and we've been praying for you for things to turn around, and for the mercy of God to prevail, to stop such things, you know. I try as much as possible to reach out to many of us that are there to make sure that you are well. And the responses were very positive. We thank God for your life and your well-being. Is the Israeli topic, is it the topic of today, the Israel and the Palestine? Is it the topic of today, or we have backsided the issue of Nigeria? I don't know. I just want to know.
If you don't want to answer
Nigeria
it,
is
give it to
so
somebody
3 hours
else.
ago. Nobody who cares about Nigeria. Nobody cares about the problems of Nigeria right now. All we care about is the Middle East. So no, I think the topic they've covered Nigeria quite a bit, and so we are currently just covering the Middle East. We can always go back to Nigeria again, and there is a lot of lessons for us to learn too. These people are fighting for a tiny piece of land. While we have our own land, we are not doing anything to protect it. But it's okay. Let's hear your views on whether
So,
Israel is on the right side of history on this one.
okay, so you see the bitter truth, which many of us will not accept because of the civilization of today. But let us all remember that humanity did not start existing in the last 2, 3, 4, 500 years ago. The human race have been in existence for close to 1 million years now. And from time to time, people loses the place they were occupying. The original owners of today's America are nowhere to be found. I think they are almost gone out of history, unless when you want to dig deep, because Americans of today are Europeans who migrated out of religious persecution and other aspect of it. So when you come to the issue of Israel, I want to correct an impression. Let's remember what happened in 72 AD, because the history we're referring to today that we are using to judge who owns the land and who is not the owner of the land is from 1945 to 1968 or thereabout. But we forgot that before that date, before that time, there were histories that were written. And I want to go back to the 3 dominant religion that is known to Africans. Number 1, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Now, when you look at these 3 religions, Judaism has been existing for over 7,000 years before Christianity was born. And Christianity have existed for over 550 years before Islam came into being. And now, who were those who practiced Judaism, and where were they living? Which place was their own land when they were practicing Judaism? Since it's almost over 7,000 years old.
Do you have any
That
source?
is the question.
Do you have any sources for this, for that claim?
Because I asked a question on the national radio yesterday. This issue was brought because a Lebanese that lives in, I think in Spain, had a radio program which was interactive section. And I happened to get involved. And I asked this question. Who were the Jews? Where were they living? Before 1948, I mean before 1945 to 1968, where were Jews? Where were they living? And who were the owners of Judaism? And where were they practicing that Judaism? Because when we go back to the history book, which is the Bible is a history book.
No, the Bible is not a history book.
It is a history book that has to do...
No, it's not a history book. No academician worth his salt will use a religious text as an
history book. That's
not
correct.
the Quran, not the Talmud, not the Bible.
But they
It's
do.
not an
The fact
history
is, they
book.
all do. That's the fact.
The Bible is a history book that
It is not
tells
an
us the
history book.
story
Let him
of the
finish his
Jews.
book. Because you said it's not a history book doesn't mean anything. Let him finish what he's saying.
It does matter, and I'm not asking you.
I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm saying you said it.
With all
You already said it. You said it 4 times.
One
I
mic,
would rather not talk to you, please.
one mic.
With all due respect.
Please go ahead.
I don't care what you think. I'm saying you said it 3 times. You're just disturbing
With
the
all
man.
due respect, I would not.
One mic. I'm going to be muting mics now. Okay. Righteous man, please go ahead.
It's a born again. Forefather is a born again.
So, if you don't accept that it's a history book, myself, I consider the Bible as a history book because it tells us the history of it.
I didn't say according to me. I said no academician worth his salt would rely on the Bible or refer to it as an
But you keep interjecting him. I told you to just leave him alone to have his say.
Talmud, whatever it was, nobody's going to use.
No, whenever he's interjected, he gets very angry. But you shut this guy down.
As an history book. That was all I just said. Not according to me, just according to the science of education. Nobody's using it as an history book.
Are you done?
Yes.
He's done.
You are done.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, if there's other things
and you are satisfied, right?
And the things you said.
Can we just leave this and let's allow Righteous Man to finish so that you can get back. We can get back on track. Please go ahead, finish your submission. Take 1 extra minute.
Well, I don't know. I do not like interjecting, and in fact, it takes me back. You know.
To respond about
so I've lost the chain of my thoughts. What I was trying to say is this. Personally, me, I'm a Christian. I'm a believer in Christ Jesus. But I see the Bible as a history book. And nobody can convince me otherwise. It's a history book that tells the history primarily about the Jews and then the surrounding lands or neighbors. The Bible is not telling us the history of the Igbos or the Yorubas or the Hausas. It tells us particularly the history of the Middle East and then extend it to Europe, Spain, Italy, okay, and a little bit of Africa, Ethiopia and Libya. It tells us the histories of what happened when we were not there about thousands of years back. So it's a history book. No matter how religious it is, it's a history book. Any book that tells you what happened before you were born is a history book. So, the Bible said David reigned in Jerusalem. There was no recognition of another king that reigned in Jerusalem except David. And that was about 4,000 years ago. There was no contest.
Yeah, sorry, there was in Jerusalem. There was Melchizedek. Melchizedek,
the king of Salem. Hold on, the king of peace. No, hold on. There was no contest between the Melchizedek you are referring to and the King David. If you read the Bible very well, it flows in line. That tree that, explains your roots. You will discover that David falls into that root of Melchizedek, the king of Salem, the king of peace. Now, what I'm trying to say, outside Melchizedek, David was the only person recorded in the Bible that have ruled, Jerusalem. Then after him, his sons. Outside these people from the lineage of David, there was no other individual that was recorded in the history book, which I refer to as the Bible, that ruled Jerusalem.
Herod did, one of his sons did So yeah, they did. They rule over Jerusalem. Herod did.
Who was Herod? Was Herod a Jew?
No, not a Jew. Not
Who
a Jew.
was he?
That was why the Jews were against him. They didn't want him to go. They wanted him to go. That was why they were.
Who was a Jew? Hold on. Herod, where did he come from?
He was a mixed race. Read the Bible, read your history. The thing is that you people, you come here, you just
No. Hold on, my brother. We are not fighting. We learn every day. Can you tell me the tribe of Herod and his country or the state, his state of origin?
Okay, let me screw you. Let me screw you. Okay, Middle East came under different rules. Okay, there was a time Alexander the Great came. Okay, he ruled all over the place. So when Alexander the Great died, the kingdom was divided into, I think, 3 or 4. You have Ptolemy. So someone was ruling all over Egypt, Samaria, or Syria, whatever. So many other places. Just like Cleopatra. Cleopatra, she is a Greek. She a mixed race. Egypt and so these people, the Herod, they had people all over the place. They intermarried with all the places. So Herod was a Jew.
My brother. You say you want to school me, and I'm happy to learn from you. Which state? Just like the person you mentioned now came from Rome. Where will you identify as the state of Herod? Where is it? Was he a Jew? A Palestinian?
Righteous man. I think you've made very, very good points here. It is from, nobody met, alive now met Herod. Herod the Great, we had many Herods. But the Herod the Great, if we talk about him, is said to be an Edomite. If you want to go through the Bible, like routes. But I think you made very salient points. I think you should leave it there because you're going to spoil many points that you made. Because you made very, very, very excellent points about who came, and this is what I was asking: who came first and who owns at what time. But I think I don't want to interject.
The original question that I asked was about, on the side of history, if people are being they are experiencing a form of occupation, appetite, or being denied their sovereignty in history, from what we've learned so far, is Israel on the right side of history? That was the question.
And that's why I came back, because I heard you wanted to ask me that question, because I was listening to you guys. It was too much antagonism.
Sorry, let me answer him.
Not Odi is my name. I'm not
okay, sorry, Odi. Sorry. I'm not seeing you. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Let me answer the question.
Let's allow Righteous Man answer, then we can come to you.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yeah.
So try to keep it sharp this time. 1 minute.
So forefather, see, I am not in support of killings. It's so bad. I hate seeing those little children being murdered. I hate it. But you see, there are many ways to go about your freedom. There are many ways you can attain to your freedom. What Hamas did, I was watching it live that day. Had it been that Hamas committed that atrocity and there was no celebration in the land of Palestine, that the Palestinians did not gather and begin to celebrate and started burning the flag of America and the flag of Israel, I think this thing won't go to the extent it has gone today. But they were happy. Hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. Hold on. You can't interject me now. I like you to speak.
Let's allow you to finish. Please finish. You have a few seconds to round up.
When this atrocity, people were celebrating, they had a festival they were celebrating. And people went into their houses, brought newborn babies, and beheaded them before their parents, and burnt husband and wife alive. And then in the land of Palestine, the Palestinians were celebrating, they were dancing, they were clapping, they were burning the flag of America and Israel. And that brought provocation. You can't tell me that you came to my house and murdered people, and then I should not retaliate if I have the opportunity to retaliate. And you see, it is a declaration of war.
Righteous man. The question, that is not the question. The question is about being on the right side of history.
Can I go ahead now?
But that is fine. Yes, let Odi try to answer the question.
Righteous man, did you see a video of
let's allow 30 seconds for Okija to just respond, and then
30 seconds to ask me a question.
Okay,
sorry. Okay, you are hit. You are saying that because they celebrated, that's why that is it's legitimate. It's good that they will be attacked. Okay, let me go back to your tribe, Igbos. In 1966, people were killed. Hausa, like Ahmad Bello were killed, and some other Northerners were killed. So, do you justify it because Igbo celebrated? That's why there was
that was what I wanted to ask him.
Yeah, do you justify that?
Okay, let me now take that question and then
let me answer you. No, he asked me the question. Let me answer him. If you read the account, if you listen to Oputa panel that was set up by OBJ, to reconcile what happened there, the witnesses said one of the things that provoked the Northerners was that the Easterners were celebrating about the murder of those people in the North. And the young military Northerners, were angry, and they said they have to revenge over the death of their people that were murdered, that were killed. And that is why they tagged that coup Igbo coup, when it is not actually Igbo coup.
Man, answer the question.
So answer the question. Was it justified?
Answer the question.
Was it justified?
Justify on what ground?
Was it justified? What Northern soldiers did, was it justified? Or what Northerners did? They were the killing of Igbos in Kano and some other places.
Because they were celebrating, was it justified?
It's a revenge. It's a revenge.
Was it justified?
Was it justified?
Was it justified? Oh,
righteous man, I told you that the more you go on, you're going to put yourself.
Righteous man,
you're going to lock yourself down.
Let's move on.
Let's move on because let me have my say.
You spell hypocrisy.
You had that question. You had that.
Yeah, let me ask the question again so that the viewers know what you're answering. Is Israel on the right side of history due to the fact that it is being accused of putting the Palestinians through apartheid system, oppression, and occupation? Would they end up being on the right side of history, or they will be remembered as people like apartheid regime that is on the wrong side of history?
Good question. Very excellent question. And I want to make sure, look, I'd like us to elevate our conversation. We are not here, none of us are here Israelis or Palestinians. Let's not attack ourselves. We can have a conversation about this peacefully and be able to understand each other. We can understand our different points of view. When none of us is going to win the war for Israel or Hamas or anybody or Lebanon or anybody.
It's a genocide, dude. Not a sport.
Can I finish what I'm saying? The problem when you're getting, I'm saying let's elevate the conversation, because if we're having conversation here that do not come back to our people, or benefit our people, or continue to entrench them, is a problem. Hold on.
Do you support what happened to our people during the Civil War? Do you support that?
Can I finish? He asked me a question now. Trust me, like I can answer these questions. That's not a problem. Let me, I have he asked me a question. I'm trying to answer it. You can. I'll go to your own next. The question is, forefather. One of the things you always talk about is security. You want us to have this alliance, build up our own alliances. Who writes history? The people that write history are the people who win wars. We know that. The history we know was given to us today by the Romans, most of them. This, you know, we from what happened in that land, most of the history we know were given to us by the Romans. If Israel wins the war and they're able to take over the land, they're going to write the history of that land. We know already in Nigeria, the British came here, they wrote the history that we're trying to now relearn, but we cannot, because most of us will never ever get to the root of what happened. Because, you know, I'll tell you something, because many people have been saying, you know, I know the kids I have a kid in university, you know, most of the kids are in colleges, are demonstrating, are complaining and all, doing all that. In 1967, kids in Britain demonstrated and they were against the war in Biafra. Guess what? They are also the ones now, you know, they are, their children are the one perpetrating evil in Nigeria also. Let me tell you something. Let's remove our emotions. These people, you know, when kids grow, they become their fathers. We know this. This history repeats itself over and over again. And that's why I'm saying what we need to take from this war or whatever is going on now is, how do we advance the cause of our people at this time? Someone mentioned that Iran probably tested a nuclear weapon. These guys, and I asked Delo Ogun when he came here, how can we do that? You know, instead of being trapped in their own discussion, there is an opportunity for us to break free. You know, the First World War was an opportunity. Second World War, you can trace it, was an opportunity. The Israelis, the Jews, used that First World War to get into the mandate of Palestine. That's how they got in, if you didn't know that. The Second World War, after that, they solidified. 1948, State of Israel was declared after the British won, the Allied forces won the Second World War. And then we got our own independence, little bit of independence they gave us. There is a war coming. All of us, nobody will escape this war. If you didn't know it now. The question is, what are we going to gain from this war? Are we going to gain most, or at least let's achieve all our independence? Instead of, did you support this war? Do you support this war? Do you, like, people get killed in war. Hamas knew what they were going to. Israel, they baited Israel. It was a bait. They baited Israel to come to Gaza and do what they did.
Oh yeah,
Israel, they are not nice people over there. You know, I don't support what Israel did. I don't support what Hamas did. I don't support anybody. But I'm saying, if you remove emotion and if you want to stay in the middle, you will see that
16,
Hamas completely knew.
16,000 kids, remove emotion.
But are you saying,
remove emotion?
Are you saying, let me ask you, let me even go direct with you. Are you saying that Hamas did not know that Israel will kill this much people if they came and killed 1,200?
Let me answer that question that the way you
hold on.
Okay.
Osama bin Laden went to New York and killed how many people? Go and look at what happened to Iraq, to Afghanistan. You know, you don't go and try it. You don't go and poke a giant in the eye and just want the giant to just come and kiss you. You know, this thing happened. It's a war.
Isn't that what
That's
happened?
What I'm saying. But this is not our war, my brothers. This is not our war. Stop crying over this war. Let's find what we can get from this war.
Make the same argument.
It's going to be your turn next. Don't worry, you're going to have your turn to respond. The question you asked about whether Hamas didn't know what was going to happen to them. First things first, they knew what was going to happen to them. It's like somebody knowing that they have a...
Forefather, can you let Eccentric answer it? Not you. Don't worry. Just let him answer it. Sorry.
No, it's going to be his turn. For the sake of the viewers, so that the viewers complete, because you made your points. The viewers
for like 2 hours, not even letting me say anything.
What authoritatively happened. Don't worry, you'll get your chance. It's going to be 30 seconds at most. The Hamas knew what was going to happen. What they are trying to do was trying to drag people to see what Israel is truly like, what their life is truly like. the cruelty that they live under, and Israel didn't hesitate to show that. So the idea that because Hamas did those things means that it exonerates Israel, that is an independent state military.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
I understand, but the implication of the question is that like Hamas should have.
No. That I did not say that. That's not the implication of my question. We're digging facts. What we're trying to do is digging facts. I just asked the question to see our opinion. I said,
okay,
what did Hamas expect? I'm not saying that it's justified that Israel will go. I can't make that moral argument.
Israel should have surprised them by not doing what they did. Okay, Seneca yeah, you can go ahead. Do you think Israel is on the side of good?
Let me go ahead and answer the question. I know a little bit about this matter. You know, I'm not gonna be sparing my opinion. Go confirm this. Confirm this if you want. If you have a computer, click on your computer and search this up. Israel had Palestinians, almost 4,000 of them in their jail. And prior to that, October 7th, there was a time when Israel captured. When there was a time Hamas captured an Israeli soldier, right? One of their top generals. Captured him and then made a deal. If they release that top general, Israel will release 2,000 people that they had in their jail, right? The deal was done.
Right? It wasn't a top general, you know. It was a small fry.
I can find his title. He was top. He was top in the military ranking. Okay, that's why they agreed with that deal. And Israel released the 2,000 people, and Hamas released that one person, right? That was the reason why they went over there. They did not know. And I got to tell you this. You can confirm this. Netanyahu knew that Hamas was making a plan for invasion, right? And the purpose of the invasion, you know, according to primary sources, is they wanted to capture people. They wanted to capture soldiers so they can make exchange with the Israeli government. So Israeli government will release the people that they kidnapped, the Palestinians that they kidnapped and put in their own jail. And we've all seen it. We've all seen people that are in Israeli jails, how they look after they come out. You know, like recently, like last two weeks ago or three weeks ago, Israel dropped a container with bodies on it, with dead bodies, a container filled with dead bodies, and told them to bury them. And they said they can't. They don't have any space to bury these people. You know, this is what's going on with the people in their jail. Like, you can go online, go to your YouTube, look up the people, the Palestinians in Israeli jail, in their military jail. Look how they look malnutrition.
So we have to always give evidence with all these things. So as you can see, as of 2022, there were 450 Palestinian security prisoners in Israeli prisons, including 160 children, 32 women, and over 1,000 administrative detainees. Those are detainees indefinitely incarcerated without charge.
Forefather, as at September 2023, it was 5,000 plus. You need to check.
That's what. Listen, I don't care about opinion here. Like, let's drop facts, right? We are smart. We live in the age of information. Anyone on, even the people on the chat, are smart enough.
Well, Forefather, I don't have the control, but let's drop another fact, because he was wrong when he said it was the guy's name is what's his name? Gilad Shalit. His name his name was Gilad Shalit. He was just a sergeant.
Okay, surgeon. All right, cool. No. But he was more important.
Hold on. You see, that exchange, people said that the exchange that Netanyahu was the one that oversaw that exchange, that he used it to bolster Hamas. He exchanged one soldier for 1,000 civilians.
But you haven't answered your question, though. Because the problem is, because he's on your side, he's just digressing, and you're letting. You asked him a question. Let him answer the question.
I'm not derailing from the question. I'm just telling you that. I'm telling you that. Okay, we're not going to neglect the fact that Israel kidnapped 5,000 Palestinians and Hamas is trying to capture soldiers so they can make exchange. Like,
do you know how many slaves that America brought from Africa? That's not the question. Answer the question.
What are you talking? How do you compare slaves?
It's
Man,
okay. I
this
think
guy, something is
Odi,
wrong.
come on, man. That one seems like from the
I
from
mean,
the brother up from
From
nowhere, like
dustbin.
to
From
knock him out.
dustbin.
Like
Oh,
where did that one come from,
what?
Odi?
this
Eh?
this one now what about this one now
Africa
what
want to be
about
prisoner
thing now
exchange.
What
wow.
are you even talking about?
I
This
don't know
one
Bro,
where
now
the
what
brother
bro,
one
you
about
need
come
to
thing?
from.
wake
What
up,
about
man. You're
what
bigger
about
than this, man.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
I'm just
Listen.
trying to bring him back to the question you asked.
What's
Okay.
the question that you asked that I haven't answered? What's the question that you asked that I haven't answered? I can answer all your questions and the previous
Please
one that you
ask him the question again.
Is it about Israel being on the right side of history?
asked.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
you asked now. Ask him. You asked
Yeah,
me. Ask
I'm
him. You
asking
asked
you:
him,
is
and then
Israel going to end up being on the right side of history on this one,
No,
just like
Israel
at
is
the
not gonna.
apartheid regime? You see, that was a straight
Israel is
answer.
not gonna. They're not gonna be on the right side of history. Period. They're not gonna be on that right. The same
And can you
way.
justify it?
The same way. Okay. The same way. I'm gonna make comparison here. The same way a South African government that carried out apartheid are on the wrong side of history, and we see the outcome, right? The same way they're on the wrong side of history. Like, did you know that Israel does not have a constitution? Israel is the only country, so-called democratic country, that does not have a constitution, and there's a reason for that.
that's
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 because
not true. That's not actually
The
true.
UK
look it
doesn't
up,
have a constitution
That's
look it
now.
up,
not true. You
look
know,
it up,
we can't just
Father,
be
1
blowing
minute.
fallacies here.
Father,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are
Does,
1 minute.
does, does
he's
Britain
speaking
have a
against
written
me now.
constitution? Does
No,
look
Britain
it up,
have a written constitution?
look it
hi,
up. Israel.
extending gas. Look at the kind of flank he just went and open now. Eh? Now they're going to make it a constitution now.
Constitution, Constitution is what gives right to the citizens, right? They didn't give. They don't have constitution
Jago, you
because
are muted. Jago, you are
citizenship is
muted.
based on religion, religious affiliation, and that's not an ethno state. There's no ethno states should not exist. Period. We shouldn't have a country based on a religion. We should not have a country for Jehovah Witness because of what happened to them in the Second
What
World War.
Saudi Arabia? What is Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia is not an ethno state. There are people in Saudi Arabia who are not Muslims. They are Nigerians. Listen, they are Nigerian people. I know a guy.
So there are
He's a
no
doctor.
Muslims in
Sharia
Israel,
system.
or no?
He's
Sharia
a
is not
doctor.
It's
Arabic
a joke you were
I know a guy
making.
who's a doctor in Saudi Arabia. What are you talking about?
Forefathers,
Saudi Arabia.
forefathers,
If it's an ethno state, I don't like Saudi Arabia. You know, if
forefathers.
it's an ethno
I don't
state,
know where
it doesn't
we're
make it right.
tracking this to, but I think the
Two roads
beauty of
can make it
all
right.
this.
No, can do. Let me chill out. Hold on. Listen, 2024 colonialism is bad. All right, it's not going to be. Colonialism is wrong. Okay, what the West did in Africa, their colonialism and their slavery and all that, it's wrong. We condemn it today.
No, it's not what they did. What they are doing is that they're still there. They haven't
What they're
left.
still doing. I agree with you on that. What they're still doing, it's wrong. Colonialism is wrong. Neo-colonialism is wrong. We're going to condemn that. You know, we are on the right. Listen, even if we are few, I believe we are many. We are on the right side of history. The same way during the Second World War, people condemned the Nazis. You know, some of them Nazi soldiers came to the United States of America and went to Times Square, and a lot of Americans came in and did the Nazi salute for them. You know, because they
Let me
thought,
just drop something. What if the Nazis won the war? What
What's
do you
that?
think? What if the Nazis won the war? Who would have been on the right side of history?
We will still be fighting against them because the ideology cannot stand.
Who is you?
Listen.
The problem is that we don't know, and this is the misconception. We don't know our place in this global
That's the
status.
question.
Who is you?
Did you know that? It was
No,
the
he asked a very good question, my brother, because you made it clear. Wait, you made it clear that you do not like an ethno state in Israel. You do not like the way Saudi Arabia is being run, which I can understand. I'll put it to you that you may be just taking on Western points of view. Do you like the American country in terms of the polity that it spurs?
Hell no. I don't like the fact that the prison population, the highest number of prison population are minorities in the United States of America, right? We don't like
that. No, that's not true, sir. It's not the highest, it's the percentage, not numbers, not numerically, percentage-wise, not numerical.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that. Percentage-wise, yeah, because based on the population of Black people in America and of course the percentage. There are policies, American policies that mirrors apartheid policies. We are against.
Yeah, but give me something that comes close to this.
This is the best thing since sliced bread. Nobody
Jim Crow.
said any, hold on.
Jim Crow was like, it was Jim Crow.
There is in the history of
It
humankind.
was Jim
There's
Crow.
never been any other. There's never been any other system.
We don't care about the color of.
Hold on. That you can come from wherever. There are about 2 million Nigerians that were born in Nigeria that are in the United States of America, and a lot of them have become something. There are not too many. Hold on. You cannot go to France and do what Africans and Nigerians in particular have been able to do in America. You cannot do it. You cannot do it in Britain. Not to the, not in general sense.
Let me just add quickly to this one.
It's not perfect, but this is the best thing going.
But
this is
see,
it.
Kando, are you sure? Because the other day I was just reading something. They said that I think was it Nehemiah? I think it was electricity that was hosting a show about Nehemiah. It turns out that Nehemiah was the cupbearer of the Persian or Babylonian king, and then but he was still able to go to Israel to do some work in Israel. So it shows that in empires in the past, people still have the ability to move from their own governed areas to the center and become something.
I'm talking
just like those 2 million
I'm not talking about what happened in whatever BC or even early ADs. I'm talking about in today's society.
Okay,
I don't know of any other place. Hold on. I don't know of any other country that you can come from, do whatever you have to do to become a citizen, become all in the general, in the main. I'm not talking about a few hundreds here, a few hundreds there.
No, I actually do know.
This is
So,
from the point
on 4 wheels.
So the Roman, so people have to realize the American empires will have it. It's just a mirror image of the Roman Empire. You know, just with fine tuning the system of government, the idea of the citizenship. Citizenship was granted to non-foreigners. You know, to come into the, many of the people who were Roman emperors, not all of them were traditionally and by ancestral Romans. But the point that I wanted us to bring back is, when you ask this question, forefather, about who will be on the right side of history, and I asked you, what if the Germans won the war? Would they be considering on the right side of history? We're speaking German.
See, we don't do what about. This is
no, but that's what we are doing here. It's talking about history. History is what about.
This is where we at right now, and the consciousness of people all over the world has been awoken, especially the younger children, the young teenagers, the young 20-something-year-old, and they seen this thing. You know, that boju
they will become their fathers. They will become their fathers.
Say anything about Israel?
I can't believe this topic has taken 3 hours.
Nobody's buying
that. I barely said a word or forefather.
Exactly. I can't believe it has taken 3 hours already. Because there's another show coming up in about 30 minutes time.
Everybody has been able to see what it is. To a degree, I understand the state of Israel. You know what they've gone through under the Nazi.
They have what is called PTSD. They have what is called PTSD.
It is this notion of never again. And
thank you. Now you get it.
Whoever they have to run over to not have that never again. But you cannot be, because of your never again, be taking over other people. Everyone that is honest with themselves, that has any humanity in them.
We gotta be honest.
Wait.
But Kandu, have you forgotten that history has it that this is not the first time Israel returned back to their homeland.
Who cares?
This is not the first time. It is not the first time. Israel has been taken captive for thousands of years. And from time to time, after serving that captivity, they return back to their homeland. So this is not the first time.
It's still my turn. Why you guys taking my turn?
It's my turn now, obviously.
Oh, Father, you don't want me to speak or what?
Exactly. Okay.
Papa, do your thing, or
I
please.
think Jagon hasn't used his time, so he has to be allowed to have his full time.
I haven't said a word.
Yeah, I know. Except because used 1 minute
please,
to
let
finish
other
your
people
submission,
speak.
then
Hold on,
we
guys.
go to Jagon to do his 5 minutes. Then the others can do 2 minutes at most.
1 minute
Yeah, go
timing.
ahead.
All right. So here's a historical fact, and I can send you a book where you can find this information. Before the Second World War, Jews from East Europe were not known as Semites. Jewishness was not an ethnicity; it was a religious ideology. And
Who cares?
Hold on, 1 minute. Hold on, 1 minute. Dude, stop. Just 1 minute. All right. It's a religious ideology. The reason why they become an ethnicity is because Hitler wanted to prevent them from converting, from escaping the pogrom through conversion. So you can find where he was saying it. You can find a book on that. He said that the Jewishness is an ethnicity, that they are Semites. That prevented them from escaping persecution from conversion, right? After that, this whole Jews are Semites. That's the birth of it. Look it up.
Well done for the history lesson. Thank you, guys. Listen.
Thank you. Yeah, let's allow Jagon to come. Are you not done?
It's 44 seconds.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Use your 50 seconds.
There's no such thing as the Jews has always been in that land because it's a religious ideology. There are Jews in Igbo land. There are Jews in Ethiopia. There are Jews in Morocco. There are Jews in South America. There are Jews in New York City. There are Jews in Asia. Actually, China.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Similar.
Yeah, welcome, Jagon.
Thank you, guys. I've been listening for a while.
So the question is about whether Israel is going to be end up on the wrong side of history on this war or on the right side of history.
Well, there are many things that have been said, and a lot of them are just claims based on our own opinions more than history. And therefore, when we don't have the history right, looking forward, it's very complicated. Me personally, I've been looking at this issue for an awfully long time, not just from a point of view of the politics of the Middle East and Israel in particular, but more of the ethnicities of those who have been there, were there, are there now, and what the future would say about that piece of land. Me personally, I call that piece of land Northeast Africa. It's completely within the African tectonic plates, and the people who were there before were Black Africans in ethnicity. We stretched all the way up to India as far as Black ethnicity is concerned. Now, things have happened obviously since that time, and when we look at the book, that some people don't call a history book, some people do, there's a lot that comes out in that book when you look at it historically, because it says the names of the people that were there. And when we research these names, these people were Black. When you speak about the Canaanites, when you speak about the Phoenicians, when you speak about the Grimaldi, the Grimaldi were the people who really set the land right for Rome to develop as it has. When you look at these people, they're all of African ethnicity. Now, we have to understand what's going on when we read that book. You see, when you read the book that they call the Bible, if you do not read it with a African perspective, you won't know what you're reading, in my humble opinion. It is when I changed my focus and started reading the Bible based on the fact that all these people were Black, except when they said that they were from elsewhere, Romans and this and that. They use these names. When you research these names, you know that they are Caucasian or from a different place. So we have to understand that there has been a good measure of what they call today identity theft and rewritten histories. in order to put certain people in the light and other people in the darkness. Now, because we as Africans are just eating from this dirty spoon of the Europeans, we have it in mind that Christianity is actually a religion or a way of life. We believe Judaism is a religion or a way of life. We believe Islam is a religion or way of life. The fact of the matter is, none of them depict truth in terms of the people who speak for these so-called religions. So therefore, as the gentleman rightly said before I spoke about what Hitler had done and about who the Jews actually are, because they are not Semites in actual fact, they are European who used to travel back to Baghdad in order to develop what they call the Talmud. And it's the Talmud that they follow more so than what they call the Torah, which is the First Testament, Old Testament. So within this gamut, they have been able to change their ethnicity from being Europe. The problem that happened with the Jews, you remember, it was all in Europe. It wasn't anywhere else. All of a sudden, they're in the so-called Promised Land. And they're making a lot of trouble there. And we know the history. I don't want to go through history, which we should know, in order for them to come to the point where they are now. So it shows me that the Europeans have skillfully supplanted their hate of a certain ethnicity in Europe into the Middle East, and they are backing the people that they were slaughtering not so long ago. So these things have to be compiled in the mind so we know what's going on. Where we are concerned as Black people, as again mentioned by the earlier speaker, we don't really know our history. We can talk about the Americans not knowing their history. We can talk about the Caribbean people as Black people not knowing their history. But we go back to West Africa, and they have, when I look at the Yorubas themselves, the way our history goes, it goes a bit topsy-turvy, and to the point that you say, whilst I have an idea, what I know is that most Nigerians do not know their history before the time of the 1900s. We don't really know it. Yoruba as a name, you know, people always get this mixed up. Yoruba as a name is a name from the Borgu Empire. The Borgu were taken over by the Fulani. They hardly exist anymore. They're still there, but they hardly exist. And we, the Yorubas, had a close relationship with them and the so-called Takpa, who are the new people. We had a very close relationship, so we know these things. They were the one who gave us the name Yoruba. And people come out and say, the Fulani is there, and Yoruba mean rubbish. People don't know the history, just guessing and grabbing, and not even trying to investigate for themselves. So I'm not speaking historically the way you guys did, because it's been spoken. I'm speaking in terms of understanding this narrative that we're being shown on the TV every day. Joining yourself, like our man Kennedy did, idiotically. Joining yourself to back the Israeli agenda.
I don't think it's fair to say.
Wait, let me finish, Joe, please. I understand. I believe it. I believe it cumbersome and foolishness. When just because of X, Y, and Z, Nigerians believe that Israel has a right, and then they don't even speak about the right of the Palestinians. Like they don't even really exist as human beings. I mean, I don't know why we don't find this topsy-turvy. I just don't understand. We want to say something to protect Israel. What can you say to protect Israel that they're not doing for themselves already? What is it? What is it that you're putting forward? We see what Israel do. We see that they're the ones in power. We see that they have subjugated the people to the point of devils. They're not even looked upon as human beings. I mean, the trauma that these people are going through, if it's not looked upon as something that is going to add up to a massive explosion, then I feel indeed that we are worried in our mind to the point that we're not making sense.
Can I ask you something though? Do you think then, because I think from the original question you basically think that Israel is on the wrong side of history. However, do you also think that sooner or later, because that maybe Israel may become an issue for America to deal with if they carry on in this mode?
I think they're sorry, go on.
Yeah, if they carry on in the mode of like looking to expel the Palestinians, and there's a big,
I mean, that is
lot of
what they're looking to do.
outrage.
Imagine, just imagine that's what they're looking to do. There's a guy, an Oyinbo guy, I detest him. He goes by the name of Douglas Murray. You might know him for fun. And when I listen to him speak, he speaks so wholeheartedly on the side of Israel. I'm thinking, have you any passion at all in your skin? Now, I'm just saying this to say that Israel has already become America's problem. As much as they're having to politically, shoulder the balance of play as much as they can because they need to remain there. Now, the fact of the matter is, we can see the campaign of Netanyahu and how even his own people want him out. However, because they all agree that the Palestinians should be purged and exterminated, they are asking Egypt to take them on. They're asking Jordan to take them on. They're asking Syria and Lebanon to take them on. And they've tried this before and it
We
didn't
have
work.
to be careful about saying this. This is not the view of Dr. Damages that, we don't know whether
In terms of what? Sorry.
not all Israelis believe in that the Palestinians
No, I'm saying that they have
the
that.
government may
Apart from, all I'm saying is a slide. It's not so heavy. All I'm saying is that Netanyahu is a disappointment to the people of Israel. However, there is an agreement across the Israeli populace that Palestine and the Palestinians are a massive problem. Let me put it like that and go on. Now, with that agreement, he sustains his evil agenda. So I don't want to miss my thought. All I'm saying, I began with the fact that there's identity theft going on. Identity theft of who? I put it to you again here. Nigerians, West Africans, are singularly the largest circumcised men in the world. They circumcised on the 8th day, and they did this before any British man came to our shores. Given these facts, I think we have to really understand who it is that we are. We, in the whole planet, I don't care what nobody says, are the most spirited, spiritual, prayerful people I have ever come across. And I'm a traveler. I've been everywhere, and I see those who are dedicated. So I think we really have to pay really serious attention to what we read, what we view, and how we see things. Because this is not the time to be following a blind man or to following somebody else's agenda. This is the time, really, for us as Africans to stand up as men, understand the kind of conversations that we have to have between Christianity and Islam. I think there's such a big conversation, but we're not ready for that conversation. But there is because you see, the thing is, to me, either both of them are the truth. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Either both are a lie, or one is the truth. It's like that. But to talk about it, we can't do it because we're too weak of spirit. We're just going to scream our offended. I'm offended. All that bullshit.
Thank you, Jagman.
I wouldn't like that, but I hope I put it in a succinct enough way.
Yeah, you did. And I think it is AY. AY, yeah, thank you. I think we need to shorten it now because we have to. Sorry, let me just do some clerical work. There's going to be a show coming up in about 20 minutes, 19 minutes time. Let me just show you guys. It's about health tourism. I think it's only this is about health tourism. As you can see, it's showing about 12 minutes time. I don't know why that is. It's actually about 12 minutes time. So yeah, that's it should be coming up anytime soon. So I just thought I should highlight it so that when we end, then there's that show going on, and then we'll be here after they finish to carry on. All right, so that is that on this one, and there is another video I wanted to share. This is from John Harris. I don't know whether anyone has heard of him. He was he investigated and found some evidence of what Netanyahu wanted to do to the Palestinians. And this is in his own words, and some of the things he has done in the process, in the peace process. I don't know whether if I should share it or whether we should just go backstage and deal with this.
Why are you scared? Why are you scared to
backstage
share
and do
it?
that.
No,
You know, there's
no
no,
backstage. Share it. Share it. Let people be educated. Share it.
there's no how is that education? That's a
It is
one-sided thing.
education. Let people
No,
share.
no,
They're more
because it's
intelligent than
from the
you.
words of the prime minister, that the person that is ruling Israel right now.
Exactly.
Well,
So
you have to let other people respond enough to it, for it to
let
make sense.
share it.
But forefather, Netanyahu has not defended that publication. He has not agreed to it that is what he put on ground. So any person can come up with any kind of stories.
No. This is no. I think you have not seen it. This is him in
There's
his own
videos
words.
of Netanyahu
You're
speaking.
giving AY. This is AY's
So
time.
let's
AY,
discuss
you
it at
want
the
him to use
background.
your time.
We're not discussing at the
Let it
back.
be a background discussion, please.
No, it's
Let
not a
it be.
background
You see,
discussion. Put it to the
let
world.
us
Put it
have
to the
it as
world.
a
What are you
background
scared of?
discussion.
What are
You
you
see,
guys
this
scared of?
What are you
issue is
scared
a
of?
very sensitive matter.
Let's take
We
a
have
vote
to
from
be very, very careful about it.
What are you
Let's
scared
make
of?
it a background discussion.
I think
there's
we're
no background
diving in too
discussion.
much.
Why this is not that serious, Why we are afraid of the truth of this? We can see. You know what I'm going to do when we come back
How
again.
is this the truth?
We're going to share evidence from the side of Israel, because let's face
They're
it,
on the wrong side of
Israelis,
history. That's
they do
why.
they do have their own side too. They do have
On the wrong side. On the
suicide
wrong side.
bombers. They do have all those things happening to them, and not to mention October 7th. So we have to be balanced or try to be balanced anyway, as much as we can on these things.
It's
So
called
it
indigenous
looks
people
like
fighting
the chat
colonialism.
wants me to share.
These are things Netanyahu in his own words said. So why are you scared to share it?
Okay,
Nobody
let's just
is
play it.
going to ban you.
Let's just play it then. Let's just play it quickly.
Yeah, good.
Security of the Jewish people. They had to do this. Security was the one and only justification for all of this. So under his watch, settlers continue to move into the West Bank. We found this leaked video of Benjamin Netanyahu talking to some settlers in the West Bank. The cameraman does turn off the camera for a moment, but then turns it back on moments later.
I have to make it clear.
Save this platform. Save this platform. Save this platform. Forefathers, save this platform.
What are you scared of?
Leave that. We're not. This is something that is online on YouTube.
It's already online. Why you sound
We're not saving the platform. It's already online on YouTube. So and 3.something million has watched it. So he's the one saying he stopped the Oslo Accord. Carry on.
He is admitting to sabotaging the peace accords that the Israeli government had signed with the Palestinians. That because he disagreed with them, he wanted to sabotage them because he was so against a Palestinian state or any form of Palestinian autonomy in this land. And then he goes on to explain what his real thinking is on the situation.
We're gonna be done pretty soon. So when they're done,
Netanyahu is a fantastic politician and statesman, and he's able to sort of cover up a lot of these policies in the name of security. But here we see what he really thinks as he's talking to these settlers, thinking he's not being recorded. So, unsurprisingly, the appetite for peace breaks down on both sides. Palestinians come to the conclusion that the Israelis aren't really serious about giving them any kind of autonomy in the West Bank or Gaza, that their situation will never change. And once again, they rise up in a second intifada, this one much more violent, much more coordinated. Hamas becomes a major player in the violence, with suicide bombings and attacks. Israel responds with great force, and during the fighting, 1,000 Israelis and 3,000 Palestinians are killed. At this point, the Netanyahu way of seeing the world is starting to look a lot better. Peace talks didn't work. All they did was produce more violence. And so maybe the only way to ensure security is to go back to full-blown occupation of
don't want it to go on too long because we don't have a lot of time left.
Mhm.
So
Very
that
good.
AY and this,
Okay, let me
these
just.
people. So you've
You
seen
know,
what needs to be
that was
seen.
AY's time that you used, though.
We don't want AY to say anything now.
Let
AY,
me.
please just respond. What do you think?
Yeah, let me just take 2 minutes. There is a question you'll be asking, right? The thing is, if Israel are going to be in the right part of history, definitely no. There is something Okija said we need to take seriously. What is going on now? Even when when they invaded Gaza, right? If you see the riots among the Gen Z in America, with universities all in every street, every city. If you see what was going on, you will know that just like Okija said, in 50 years' time, people are not going to have single sympathy for Israeli. That was then when CNN can bring any kind of news and be telling lies to people. Right now, people can access this information on social media easily. So you can't pet that narrative again. And these people, don't forget, they are the future. They are gonna stand and say, listen, this is too much. Like I said before, you saw what happened at the UN, like when they wanted to speak, how everybody left. These leaders, the world leaders, they know what is going on, but there is little they can do. But they just show their displeasure at what this guy is doing in Gaza. The killing. Who is going to even accept that, though? Even if it's not your relation, even whatever you think. How do you look at children be bombed, women be bombed? What are you even talking about? Schools are bombed, hospitals are bombed, refugee camp are bombed. What do you want to see? So, to me, if you supported this madness, I don't know. I feel you don't have human sympathy. This is about humanity. It's not about religion. It's not about
Just completely,
ethnicity.
completely evil if you support
It's
this.
completely evil. You gotta condemn
You're
it.
evil person.
Stop bending your mouth and say, "Oh, but
We have to be
no,
careful
don't."
about calling people evil just
We
because they
need to
don't
be
see
we
things
need to be clear
moving.
on this. We need to be clear.
The government representative said
Let
the
you
same
May
also
thing.
be
be on
wrong,
record.
but be careful
Let
about calling
No,
people
also
it
be
is
in
evil.
Because when you call
let
people evil, what are you trying to say? We should go
It
after.
is evil. What do you call evil? Stop playing word
So you
salad.
say
This is
something is
the
wrong,
problem I
that
have
they
with
are
you,
wrong.
forefather. No, it's not about wrong. What do you call evil?
Evil is something that people do that they don't need to do, and an immoral act that they do that clearly can be avoided.
So evil.
Yes.
Okay, good. So what they're doing is evil.
Yeah, it's evil. It's an
All
evil
right,
act.
so good. So why do you tell me to stop?
No, I mean people that support Israel. You can't call them
We
evil.
didn't. Nobody said the people
Okay,
that
I thought
support.
that's what you were saying.
Well, if in fact to take it there, yes, I will say anybody that supports Israel right now, aside from the fact that they don't have empathy, like AY said, they are evil.
Okay, I think we have to
Okay,
round up
I
now.
have
I
5
think
minutes left.
I'm getting somebody
I have 5.
giving me a
Oh,
heads up
okay.
that we should be closing up now.
Yeah, I get
Gentlemen,
it.
I will ask you a question, please.
yeah,
No problem.
let's go backstage. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in. Eccentricast, AY, I speak the truth, righteous man, can do, Jagun, and a senior moderator, KJ. Thank you for coming in, and I appreciate you all. Let's close out for now and go and watch the this thing. What's this called again? Health tourism business. That whether Nigeria can become a health tourism spot. Why not? They should be coming to Nigeria to treat themselves as they are coming to Nigeria for petrol now, isn't it? We should look forward to
I
some of
think you should
that
read.
debate.
Forefather, electricity said they are going to start 6:30. So watch it. We have 30
Okay, he
minutes.
came to extend it.
Yeah. He put it on
Okay, we have
on
30
the.
minutes. Okay, we have 30
Yeah.
minutes to go then. I
Okay,
thought
let
we're ready to go.
me use 10 minutes out of it.
10 minutes of it. Please
So,
go. Are you
AY,
done?
since you have been
Okay,
talking,
just
you won't allow us to talk. You have been making
no, just 1
all
minute.
your you and
1 minute.
I speak the truth. I've taken the platform. You don't allow other people to talk. Why? Allow us to talk now.
KJ, even
What
me,
do you
I'm
mean,
defending
me and I speak
Forefather.
the truth?
No,
I
I
only
speak the
KJ,
spoke.
truth. I've been listening to your voice since. You
No, you
understand?
haven't been listening to my voice
Talking,
because I
man.
called you. I haven't been talking. I left. I only interjected and then maybe had like 2 minutes and I bounced.
Okay,
but I
why can I ask you a question?
And I called you out, and I'm glad you're here.
You go ahead.
No, it's cool. You're here. I'm glad you're here.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
I think Righteous Man wants to ask you a question.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Go ahead, Righteous Man.
Okay. Yeah, AY, in my submission, I said the killings are wrong. But I have not had anybody, either in final submission or opening of the discussion, saying that it was wrong for Hamas to have gone to do what they did October 7th.
So
nobody's saying that.
You don't have a question for me? Okay, let me finish my thing.
No, my question, AY, what Hamas did October 7th, is it right?
Clearly, what Hamas did is wrong. There is no doubt.
And is it
if I can very quickly, forefather, I beg your pardon. You see, Righteous Man, in asking that question, it suggests that you don't understand the level at which the Palestinians are living. You can't appreciate their frustration. You cannot look at the fact that they are under a terror regime and they are living day to day. It's worse than Nigeria in terms of what they're living under between West and Gaza. They're living in matchboxes. Wait. You see, this narrative that the West pushes in Nigerian people's head, that do you what's the word? Condone or the Palestinian the Hamas action on XYZ date, and they want to now, if you say the wrong answer, they want to look down on you. Me, I want to swear to F off with that narrative, because that narrative doesn't tell us anything. It doesn't suggest anything about what's going on and what's been going on. Those people are under direct subjugation, one way or the other, no matter all the politics that have gone on. Me, I can't live like that. I can't live like that without being of a militant mind. I cannot. Can you? Can you? Put yourself in that position, for Righteous Man. Put yourself in that you're in the middle of Gaza. You think Nigeria is hot. Put yourself in the middle of right now. Say that you don't want to fight that. You want peace in the land. I'm asking you, wait.
You mentioned my name.
Let me finish my time so other people can speak. Nah, just 30 seconds, right? Whatever. So I don't know why you guys are interjecting.
If you
anybody
interject me, I just say something a little bit.
Nobody should interject AY again. AY is getting tired of this.
AY, hold on, AY, please. I just want to say this, and I'll go off. Life expectancy in Nigeria is what? Life expectancy in Lebanon is 75.2.
Is there a place called Lebanon? Is there a country?
You spoke. Now
Lebanon isn't a country.
Somebody else speak now.
Your source?
Hold on.
Your source.
Average income in Lebanon is almost $64,000 to $85,000 a year, and vis-a-vis what you have in a free country. So whatever we get in the media, and for those of us who have gone to that place, you know how life is there. You know whether you, when you went there, you were subjected to any of those things you hear, or you lived in a very luxury hotel and had all the amenities that you were supposed to have before leaving.
KJ, what's your point?
Hold on,
yeah,
sir.
what is this?
I'll end and I'll let you have your listing. Just let me say what I want to say and I'll leave you. Now, whatever you will say and whatever we are trying to pander to, it is not the way it's being painted that actually life is. Okay? It's not that way. So let's be careful when we're
So the Gazans are also living.
Firstly, we're not talking about Lebanon.
Are the Gazans also living in luxury? Because you brought up Lebanon. Are the Gazans also living in luxury, or were they some of the most?
With due respect, these things are open there. You can check it out and see. You don't need to argue about it.
Or were the Gazans some of the most educated people on the planet that have now become one of the most decimated? They're about to go extinct the way of the white rhinoceros.
Yeah.
So
Do you know how many? Do you know how many of them left in the
how it
70s?
means for
Listen,
900
listen,
generations.
Homeless.
900
joking.
You
joking.
guys, I think you guys have been
900 families have been wiped out from Earth. Now think about anybody you know, including yourself, and they should just be wiped out. Thousands of generations coming down, or generations coming from thousands of
if
years.
you allow me to
And
speak.
well, if you allow me to
You
land,
need to listen.
so if
You might need to listen.
if 900 of them have
Well, he
been
was the
wiped,
one talking though. If everybody can't do it now, when are we going to get back to AY now? Let's try to keep it brief.
No, but this is the conversation, though. This is the actual conversation.
AY is a gentleman. AY is a gentleman.
Okay,
AY doesn't have anything to say there. He's just there playing puppet.
You see what Jago is doing to me?
Got a lot to say.
The kind of treatment AY is getting today, I don't know what
You
I
guys
just
don't let me speak.
let's allow KJ to finish. Let's allow KJ to finish.
Between what is happening in Gaza, what you guys are doing to me now.
No, forefather, allow them. They have all the knowledge, so let them tell you what it is. That's all. I won't say anything.
Because quite frankly, you really have nothing to say. Okay,
come on,
so
man. There's no need for that now.
Stop jumping
Why
down
do we
my
have to
throat
do
each
this
time.
now?
It doesn't matter. I didn't insult him. I said because he has nothing to say. Stop jumping down my throat each time I say something.
I'm trying to avoid.
No, you're not
Calm,
trying to
it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Every time I say
I'm
something,
just trying to avoid arguments.
you can't
not
say
AY.
this. They're going to mute this. You can't talk to this.
Forefathers. Why have we not debated about the killing of about 3.5 million Igbo, the Nigerian war? We've not taken time to call evil that the Nigerian government, in collaboration with the Western world, they did evil.
That was what I was going to
Nobody
bring
have
up
said
next.
it.
So
Is it not what
I was going to bring that up. So
why are we so much concerned about Palestine? How about the killing of the Igbos? 3.5 million Igbos, generations raised, thousands of generations raised. That place is dilapidated. Nothing is going on into that place. Federal government has no presence. Southeast, north of Nigeria.
We need to control this now. This is out of control now. Let's be nice to each other. I speak it through. You wanted to say something. Please try to keep
it. Was very. I always keep it brief. I don't have time. I don't like hearing myself talk. I'm not in the business of trying to prove like I'm in. So if you have a problem with what happened to the Igbo ethnic group, why do you now support what happens to the Palestinians? This is a case of what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Just like Okija asked you, if you are upset that the reason you justified the killings of the Palestinians after October 7th, you said, well, if they didn't celebrate and if they didn't jump on the flags, well,
I never said so. I didn't say so. Please don't lie against me. I never said so. Please.
All right,
don't. I didn't say that. Right. I never said so. Withdraw that statement. I condemn the killing, and the killing should stop immediately.
Well,
that's what I said.
Well, that wasn't what I said. So I repeat what I said to you. What Okija put to you was that you, and it's there for everybody to watch. This is what Okija put to you, and Okija brought. I didn't bring it up. Okija told you that you said, and we all heard it. At least I heard it. You said one of the reasons why it was justified was because the Palestinians, if only they had not danced on top of the Israeli flags and partied and were happy after the killings on October 7th, then maybe perhaps, and I'm just paraphrasing here, maybe perhaps you would have had some sort of sympathy for them. Now, Okija asked you in 66.
Come on, man. Withdraw that statement. I never said such. Please.
Sir,
I never said such.
Sir, that's why I said paraphrasing, and also I said you can always go back to the tape. That's very easy. So stop trying to throw me off my train of thought. I recognize this game very easily. So again, Okija asked you that in 66, the Igbo ethnic group was genocided and accused, whether rightly or wrongly, he didn't say. He said this was the reason people gave in the north of Nigeria to kill Igbos and commit all kinds of atrocities against them. Would you support it based on the fact that they celebrated and danced on the pictures of the Sardauna and Tafawa Balewa at that time? You couldn't answer. You were stumped. It was like the cat got your tongue.
Yeah, I heard that question.
You
That's
couldn't
just
say
my
No. You were interjecting me. You were interjecting me. You never gave me space to say. You interjected me. You are about 3 of you that interjected me.
All
You
right,
never
okay,
allowed me.
okay.
You never
So we're
gave me
gonna-
the space to answer that question.
So we're gonna give you. We're gonna give you a chance now. Was it justified what the North did after the Igbo celebrated the killings of the Sadana and the Prime Minister?
You're stuck again. You're not speaking.
Righteous man, answer the question now.
The righteous man talk because you keep thinking that you just get stuck. You need to talk when they ask you that question. You just stay quiet.
Okay.
No. Somebody was knocking at my door. Somebody was knocking at my door. So I was trying to see who was coming into my room.
Okay, now go ahead, answer.
The killing of any human being that have not been convicted by the law of the land is unacceptable.
That wasn't the question, though.
Be specific.
What's the
question?
The question again was, Okija said,
No, not from there. Just the question.
Can I please, I can ask my questions. Thank you, sir. So Okija said, which I heard, and you said you didn't say it, but this was his premise. You said if the Palestinians had not celebrated and danced and burned the Israeli and United States flag in celebration of October 7th, again, I am paraphrasing. I am not verbatim. I'm paraphrasing what you said. That you would have at least had some sort of sympathy for them. Now,
no, stop saying it. I didn't say so. Whether you paraphrase it or not, I didn't say so. That I would have had some of sympathy. That never came from me, and you are not going to read my mind.
Okay, so then he asked you that in '66, when the Sadana and the Prime Minister were murdered by a coup that was carried out predominantly, at least at the top level, by officers of Igbo ethnicity, then people of Igbo ethnicity started getting killed in the North. He said because the explanation the Northerners gave was that, or the excuse was that they celebrated. Now, if we juxtapose those, he was asking you, was the killings of the Igbos in the northern Nigeria in 1906, was it justified or not? It's a simple yes or no question.
Killing of innocent people are not justifiable, whether it's in the east or north or south. The killing of the Igbos in the killing of the Igbos.
Except Palestinians.
No, I didn't say the killing of the Palestinians are right. I never said so.
Okay.
They must not be killed. They are human beings like us. God created them the way He created the Israelites, and so they should not be killed.
Righteous man, do you know why they said this? Because you were saying earlier on that if the Palestinians had not been celebrating the the massacre that the Hamas did, it's like you were saying that because of those things, that's why you don't think they are right.
No, I never said so. Look, the reason why I made that statement that you are paraphrasing to suit whatever thought you have in you was because somebody said, I can't actually pick up the person who said that when they are saying that the Palestinians are doing, the Hamas are doing what they are doing, that nobody knew what, or nobody understood what Israelites or the Jews have been doing against the Palestinians that made the Hamas to take such an action. You see it? So if what is, hold on, if what the Israelites did or what they are doing led the Hamas to commit that atrocity on October 7th, I also say, maybe if these people had not rejoiced when this atrocity was committed, maybe the Israelites would have not, I mean, the Israelites or the Jewish people or Netanyahu wouldn't have responded the way and the manner he responded today. That's what I said.
Can you see how that was a troublesome? Can you see how that was such a troublesome statement that has brought us to this point now? Because what you were saying was just not what's happened. What has happened, we can see There's no point in suggesting in a new paradigm, in a whole new world, it should have happened like this. Rubbish statement, complicated statement. It got you in all this trouble, righteous man.
Hey, I am whatever you got in your hand. You not want to bring it on air. You know, we've talked about this.
Forefather, can I make a comment? Can I make my comment?
Go ahead.
Remember, I'm in the comfort of my own home.
Thank you so much.
You're also on this
allow me to speak. Now, what I want to say is simple. This, sometimes when we argue about this Israeli, and we tend to think that all Israelites or all Jews are Christians. We are not arguing based on the fact that they are Christians.
Nobody thinks that.
We are arguing based on the fact.
You're probably the only one on here that thinks that.
Why can't you guys just allow
Can
someone
we let him talk, please?
Now, wow.
What do you mean by all Jews are Christians? That makes no sense. That's like,
can we just let him talk? Just because we don't agree with it doesn't mean we have to interject all the time, please.
The religious ideology. What do you mean by
if every time you are talking what I think doesn't make sense and I have to interject, I don't think we'll have a discussion.
Exactly.
Conversation that you listen to me and listen to you.
Then you can respond.
If you don't feel like listening to me, then you can simply switch off your camera. When I finish talking, you can come back. Okay.
Oh, you can switch off the camera.
I've been sitting here since I'm not interjecting when you're making your comment, whether I agree with it or not. Why do you keep doing that?
Thank you. Go ahead.
Now, what I'm simply saying in a nutshell is this. We always want to find a way to drag Igbo topic into these things, even when they have nothing to do with us. And then you will not listen to the other part that the person is explaining. And then people now go ahead and say, everything starts and ends with Igbos. The Igbos didn't bring this conversation we're having now.
Your brother righteous man.
Hold on, sir. You were talking, I didn't say anything.
Your brother righteous man.
You want to talk about KJ, I won't listen. You want to talk about the people who organize.
You won't listen, indeed. That's right. You won't listen.
And read what is.
What are you defending? What is it that you are defending now? It's nonsensical.
You simply don't pick and choose what you want to say. Say what is correct.
But stop saying people brought it up.
Now, can't we? Why are we so triggered now? Let him finish. He hasn't even said. He has barely spoken 30 seconds.
Yeah, but listen. This is what you need to.
Now he's gone.
This is what. Okay,
it's not fair, though. It's not fair.
No, it's not. It's not fair. This is what you need to start doing. You have to grab your balls and you have to start using it. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So because this is what you do. This is what you do. You're scared of certain people.
No, I'm not scared. I'm just trying to be fair.
Let me finish. You're scared of certain people, and when as a moderator, you have to be like this. You have to use your brain. Got to be like this, switched on. So you can't let people, for example, make falsities or make statements that are not true, and then you let it ride, and then you think someone else that heard that.
No, wait. Let me just back.
He said, this is something.
Let me just back down.
Hold on, please. He said that what people keep bringing in
three things.
He said people keep bringing in the Igbo ethnic group, which is not true. His own brother, righteous man, was the one yelling and screaming in the dark over there about the Afro.
Brought it up too. So, but let's.
No, we're not talking about Okija. We're talking about Raxi. This is why you.
Hey, come on, hey. It's your brother that kept us in darkness here, okay? It's your brother that kept us in darkness.
You could be a good moderator.
What does that mean, righteous man?
See, let me have my say. Even if everything you are saying is true, he still should be allowed to finish. Then you can correct anything.
No, you as the moderator need to pick it up.
I have to let him finish talking before I even start doing anything.
Wait, forefather. There's many times.
He says.
Hold on, forefathers. There are many times that you butt in when I'm speaking for all kinds of numerous reasons.
Yes.
Wait. Now, when somebody says, I wasn't going to say anything until somebody said that's wrong. And immediately I looked upon it as wrong at the time, so I spoke up. Then a third person spoke up. You see, when three people speak up against what somebody is saying, I think it's intelligent to say, maybe he said something wrong. He was just misquoting up and down recklessly. That's not nice.
No, I understand that, but
you have to make the game straight.
I'm trying to understand where I'm coming from. I'm trying to hit a balance here. One, most of the panelists are not on his side anyway. So if he's the ones that are underrepresented, wants to say something, Let them have their say.
What
Then
are
you
you
have the people that are
talking
going to
about?
make
This
it.
is the same thing. This I do not understand.
I'm
This
not on anyone's side.
I don't understand how you look at issues. This is the same thing you did with the women. You have strong women here that could probably run rings and circles around you in terms of intelligence. You think they are weaker than you, and even physically, if you got in the ring with them, as healthy looking as some of them are, they will probably kick your weak looking ass. So
Oh
you
dear
come
me.
on here and you say
How dare
whenever
you, eh?
you say
This
whenever they
is
have
that is a
it
slanderous
doesn't make
statement.
sense.
Dare you?
If people have something to say, you can't say, "Well,
Oh my
you
God,
Oh
man.
my
brother."
days, mate.
He kind
Oh
of
boy.
insult, eh? He
He's
never ate,
asking, he's
eh?
questioning your manhood, brother. My goodness.
Physically and
You
mentally.
see what you just did just now? KJ was supposed to be here. You didn't allow him say what he wanted to say. You don't even know whether there is room for
Father,
convergence. You just shut him
for
down.
30 minutes, this guy, they did not allow me finish my contribution. For 30 minutes, I'm still waiting.
They
Jago
are
is
troublemakers.
bullying me. I speak the truth this way.
I don't know where I speak the
All of them
truth
are
started
coming
becoming a troublemaker too. You won't let people talk. They will just say what you jump in and stop them.
No, because you can't come in here and lie. I don't like when people just disingenuously just lie. They know they're lying. They know they're spreading false information, but they just say, "I'm
Even
going to
if
put my
they
foot
are, you
across," and
allow
that'll
them
do it.
finish their statement, then you can take their lies apart. That is what the viewers are here for.
Bro, imagine a
wrong.
sentence that begins like this.
That,
Most of us,
imagine
imagine a sentence that begins like this. Most of us on this panel know that the Jews are Christians. What the fuck? Well,
Exactly.
Sorry. What the hell is
No,
that?
no, no, no. The Jews are not
No,
Christians.
not.
No,
No, he
they
said are not Christians.
are Christians.
Whatever,
The Jews,
yeah, okay, whatever. It was
they
rubbish.
spite on Christians. The Jews, they spite on Christians. If you go for pilgrimage in Jerusalem, they use a barrier to separate the Christians from the Jews. The Jews hate the Christians.
Oh, now you know
In
that.
fact, they hate us with passion.
Now you know that.
Yeah.
Months
No,
ago,
what
you
Jago
arguing
is,
against it.
hold on, guys. What Jago is saying is like coming here, you come and say President Tinubu is the best president ever in Nigeria.
Imagine.
That is what some of you think.
Yeah.
Just imagine
Pushing it
how
in your
people
mind.
are going to hit him wrong. People are
Come
going
on,
to hit
bro.
him
Yeah,
wrong.
but it's only fair that we should allow people. We can't do this. What if it's a topic that people feel strongly against you? You want to still
Fafa,
be
that's not
allowed
the
to have
point.
your
The
view.
point is you cannot come and make false
People
statements.
see,
Why is it?
Forefather,
Hold on.
we know where you're coming from. The only thing is,
Forefathers,
we know where
why
you're
is
coming
it? Why
from.
is it
You want to
so
be fair. You
hard?
want to moderate correctly. I
Yes,
understand that very
so that he
well.
can have his say. I won't
However,
wait and somebody
he
You
made
just shut
cannot
up.
3
accuse.
very bad
I
statements
speak
that
the
were
truth. I
awful.
speak the truth. There is no falsehood that came made. And if he made any falsehood, you're supposed to allow him to finish. Then you can correct
Not
him.
if he
But never
make
allow him to
not
speak.
Okay,
righteous man.
let's let
Okay, let's
Forefather do the moderating.
Not
We've had it now. Forefather, please moderate.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to moderate all
Yes,
these
ma'am.
powerful men. KJ, please go ahead.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on here.
I had to go up because my son is 9 years old. He has never heard me shout, So I think it's kind of shocking to him that.
Let your son know you as you are, my brother.
So please,
You know,
I won't let him talk. What is going on today?
What's he telling us
I'm not
about this?
here to drag any
You're going to start
position
putting
with
people
anybody.
backstage.
And by any means, I'm not looking for any position. So I'm not here to make anybody feel good. It is have your say. It's what I feel. If you don't want to listen to me, it's okay. If you don't want to agree with me, it's also okay. But let me speak. Okay? Right. Now, what I was trying to say earlier is that sometimes when we argue from this point, automatically, some people assume that the Jews, we are saying that because Jews are Christians. No, Jews don't even like Christians. Okay? And they don't even believe what we believe. Majority of them don't believe. All right? But the question is now, it's just like when some people wake up and say, well, Fulanis are not indigenous to Nigeria, but they are there now. What do you do? Are you going to drive them away? So you find a way to make peace in the community where they are. It's simple. anybody who is thinking of any way that you're going to take away the Jews from where they are right today, it's not going to happen. Anybody who thinks that the Palestinians are going to go somewhere else, it's not going to happen. So the best option is to sit down and have a dialogue and say to us, you know what? Okay, this and this and this and this is our demand, and this is the demand of this, and we all come to a position. That's what's called negotiation. You present your case, I present mine, and we find a ground that we all can agree on, and based on that, we draw up a new agreement. We don't going to say that, because no matter how much of the war we fight, no matter how much of missiles that I just posted on this now, there've been new shelling of over 200 rockets to Israel this evening. It's not going to stop. It's not going to change, because as long as you are shooting at them, they will also keep retaliating. It's not going to stop. So when we come here, it's not because anybody wants to come and show you how better understanding of history or whatever, But you are free to express yourself. You owe yourself the opinion. That's why lecturers lecture you. You eventually come out to become your own professor above the professors. You people may not even agree on whatever you argue. The lecturer does not say, "Look at you, you small boy. Look me teach you yesterday." It doesn't happen that way. When it comes to the position, I once did some teaching in the university. My lecturer didn't come and tell me, no, you just graduated yesterday. You are a graduate assistant. Why are you talking this way? I stand up to make my case in a college board, and nobody tells me you cannot make that case because I taught you yesterday. But you come to this panel, somebody is shouting and talking down on you and telling you are talking rubbish. How do you know I'm talking rubbish? Have you read all the books in the world? Are you now master of knowledge to yourself? Nobody makes that. So please, when we come here, let us humble ourselves, because it's not everything you know that there is to know. That's what I just want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, you see how this went. Then welcome, Masker. You are also allowed to go camera-less, without camera. I mean, given that the bandwidth might be denied. So just in case, thank you for joining us. The question was about whether Israel was going to, be on the right side of history when it comes to this Palestinian issue. With the apartheid system, occupation, oppression. Will Israel end up on the right side of history here?
Well, I did not join to really talk much about Israel. I think it's overlabored. The fact is clear. What the Hamas did was wrong. But if people want to also be honest, if they do a little bit of research, it is the same people, the leaders of Israel, that created Hamas.
Yes, sir.
They created Hamas. Hamas was their own creation. But like I said, I don't want to be sucked into this unending cycle of violence. Even when I was young, that has been a quandary to me, and it's not about to be clear anytime soon. I just come so that I can greet all you people and
welcome, Masker. Long time.
Yes, long time. So I just wanted to say hi to all of you, KJ, and I speak the truth, AY, Jagun, and the great forefathers himself.
Now the great forefather.
Yes.
Forefather was discriminated against me today.
So I yield the mic at this point.
Sorry, you couldn't hear me. I said 1 minute I'm woman rapper, the next minute I'm the great. Yeah, we should make up our mind. So
no, but you see, okay, forefathers, if you are a great person, people will come and attack you. That is just sign of greatness. If people are not attacking you, then you are not great.
Word.
I guess so. So I will just ask this last question, then we'll move away from this.
Stop attacking me because I'm a great person, okay?
KJ, you are great too. Don't get me wrong. You are great. But full statement though will be underlined in red like your shirt, Omar.
Okay, I think we are due to round up now. So I think they are saying I should close out. But I hope that the other show hasn't started. If they are starting now, I don't know what they are doing.
Judge backstage, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't want to just end it without the other show being on. That would be a little bit.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Message electricity. Send a message to electricity now. Maybe
electricity, if you are there, let us know if we should close out now, or whether, just let us know whether you are ready to commence. If you are ready to commence, signal me one way or the other from our personal contacts to this thing, personal chat on this thing on the live stream, so that I will know what to do.
Anyway, really.
All right, perfect. So, gentlemen, thank you all for coming in, and we are going to be going backstage. And let's end the show now, and let me play us out in a more
quick one, not that long one.
I know, Jago, you are beginning to lose patience with that long one. That song, I do enjoy it though. All right then, bye.
Onye ọma zoro obi o, akwa nwa zoro obi o, Max ịbịa bunye gokwanụ m n'ofu ube n'azụ ụlaga.